The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
As the summer of 2017 continues, the Wareham Gatemen are right in the middle of the Cape Cod Baseball League playoff race.
Line shot by Anchia. This one is back. It's far. Bye-bye baseball. A two-run homer for Jake Anchia.
Drive this one to deep right field. Heading back is Pompey. He's at the track, leaps and makes the play. What a play by Tristan Pompey.
Call strike three in the inside part. Griffin Roberts
Swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
With stellar pitching and timely hitting, Gatemen have taken the West Division by storm.
The 0-2 from Fioli, called strike three.
Throwing back to first base, McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable.
sends it to right field. Going back is the right fielder. That one's gone. Tanner Dodson.
And now, the push for Wareham's 8th league championship heats up.
Duran swings and hits this one through the gap. Rounding third and heading for home is John Topa. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Topa will score.
The breaking ball called strike three. Dalton Roach strikes out the side.
1-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brett Canine.
Lines it right back up the middle for a base hit. On the first pitch, Baird rounds third. He's going to come home and score.
Metz sends it down the right field line. It's in for a base hit. Rounding third. Coming home is Duran. He will score. And the Wareham Gatemen are now winners of 5 in a row. The Gatemen walk it off at Spillane Field. How do you like that?
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and it's live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Doran Park, the site of the 2017 Western Division Finals between the Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves. Wareham was here for Game 2 of the 2016 first-round series with the Braves, and it ended like this.
Is this ball fair? It is! Bro comes in to score the game's tying run. McKinnon comes in as well. Bourne has walked off, and Wareham...
Gatemen hope that does not happen again as we bring you the 2017 Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico, our sideline reporter Claudia Chikaman, and beat writer Matt Feld on hand as well. We will send you to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health with our Sam Corman in just a moment. Connor, these two teams very familiar with one another during this time of year, and it's actually been in the Gatemen's favor.
Well, yeah, I mean, in the past, the Gatemen are 4-2 against the Braves through 6 playoff series, as far as we can find in league records since 2000. So the Gatemen, they come in with a bit of experience, at least the fans who have been here for a long time, who understand what Gatemen baseball is all about. But both in 2015 and 2016, the Gatemen left Doran Park and Spillane Field losers against the Bourne Braves in the playoffs. That's a trend they'll try to break, just as they did against the Falmouth Commodores, where the 1 seed had beaten the 4 seed as of late, but the 4 seed had more success against the 1 seed overall in the past 17 years. So there are some things here with the Gatemen that history is sort of on their side, and if they're willing to ignore some other things, it could be in their favor.
Talk about the 2-0 sweep of those Falmouth Commodores in round 1. What stood out to you in the 2 games versus the Commodores?
Well, the willingness to keep playing after such a long season. So many of these guys they're tired and they're ready. They're ready for their school season to get started back up, and they want to go home and spend some time with their family. But not some of these Gatemen. I mean, they've really shown us a lot of heart, a lot of energy, a lot of fun, and a lot of willingness to play the game of baseball that all of us love. And they've been doing such a great job. They might not have been the more talented team against Falmouth, but they sure played like they wanted it more, and that's exactly what happened. That's why they swept.
Bourne also coming off a 2-0 sweep. That was versus Katuitt, so both teams have some momentum coming into this game today. What will be the key for the Gatemen to win Game 1?
Keep it up. I mean, by both teams coming in with momentum, it means one is going to lose it. Fitz Stadler, he is at a bit of a disadvantage. This Bourne lineup saw him less than a week ago, and they did pretty well against him. It's going to be a bullpen game for the Gatemen, and as long as the Gatemen keep rotating in pitchers who can dominate the Braves, they could for sure be well on their way to beating Bourne.
All right, the Wareham Gatemen trying to make it back to the league finals for the first time since 2012. It will start with game 1 tonight versus the Bourne Braves here at Dorn Park. Now we'll send it to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health, with our Sam Corman. Sam?
Thank you, Jacob. Welcome to Gatemen Pregame Live Playoff Edition, presented to you by South Coast Health. I'm Sam Corman. What a series for the Wareham Gatemen to start off these playoffs after ending the season surrendering 37 runs in their last 3 games. The Gatemen held Falmouth's heavy offense to just 8 runs in that 2-game sweep. Game 2 had no shortage of great moments. Noah Zavalis was outstanding, striking out 9 batters through his 6 innings of one-run work. Gritty bullpen outings from Jordan Britton and Darian Reagan secured the series win over the top-ranked team in the division. All of this strong pitching, combined with 7 RBIs in 2 games from Jake Anchia, resulted in Wareham's advancement to the second round. After taking Game 1 10-5 in Falmouth, Wareham returned home to bring Wareham fans to their first series win in 5 seasons. After taking Game 1 in Falmouth on Saturday, the Gatemen returned home to Spillane Field for a chance to advance to the second round for the first time since 2012. But Falmouth's season was on the line, and they sure played like it. They scored about as early as possible in the first inning.
Swings on the first pitch, and this one's into center field. It falls, waving around Daniel. The throw is going to be cut off, and the Falmouth Commodores have an early 1-0 lead.
Well, it wouldn't take long for the Gatemen to respond. It was the bottom half of the second inning, and Jake Anchia is now the CCBL RBI leader in the playoffs. Let's put it that way.
Takes the 1-0, high chopper, it's fair! Durpich is gonna score, Topa as well. Anchia will stop at first, the 2 RBI single. And the Gatemen now lead it 2-1.
Noah Zavalis was outstanding, striking out 9 batters through his 6 innings of work. Jordan Britton comes in the 7th inning. It was pretty solid. I mean, ran into a little bit of trouble in the 8th when, the big guns were at the plate for the Falmouth Commodores.
To left, and it will fall, and Topa couldn't handle it. Bohm chugging home, he scores. Tie game.
What a game this was. Falmouth ties it up in the top half of the 8th inning. However, what a response from the Wareham Gatemen.
Anchia up the middle, base hit. Jimmy Francos is going to tell Durpich to head home. The throw is not in time. Durpich scores, and the Gatemen retake the lead. Pitch down the third baseline. Bakina can't handle it. The run will score. 4-2 Wareham.
With 1 out in the 9th inning, Falmouth has the tying runner in scoring position, and Darian Reagans, the lefty, comes in, a newcomer out of Kaiser University. And wow, what a performance.
2-2. He struck him out, and the Gatemen win. The Wareham Gatemen are headed to the Western Division Finals for the first time since 2012.
What a series, what a great baseball environment at Spillane Field in Game 2. However, it's time to get back to work for the West Division Finals. Let's go to Claudia Chikamian, who's with the Gatemen ace, Noah Zavalis.
Thank you, Sam. I'm here by the Game 2 starter, Noah Zavalis. So Noah, 6 innings pitched, gave up just 1 run early in the game. First of all, how did it feel to start in the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs?
It was an incredible atmosphere, especially the Spillane Field always draws a nice crowd, and 2 nights ago was no different. It was packed a little bit more, and you could really feel the crowd getting involved too.
And you had a rough start giving up that run early in the game, but you really settled in very nicely toward the rest of your start. So what was your mindset going into the game, and then after the first inning, getting back into it?
The mindset really didn't change. It was kind of tough being knocked back that first batter, reaching base, and then not really be able to get into a groove. But once I kind of dialed it in, the mindset was just about the same as it normally is.
How did it feel getting to play in the game that you guys later went on to win it and move on to the next round to sweep a very good Falmouth team?
Coming in, we knew we had a rough end of the season, but we knew we had some new guys and some new pieces, and I think we saw that we can put that together, and it worked really well. So it was a great experience to be out there and have a lot of different contributions, especially from some of the newer guys.
Now, you guys have had a very interesting history with the Bourne Braves this season. They got the series from you 4-2, and then I know you were here for a little bit last year, but you know how the Braves knocked the Gatemen out the past 2 years in the playoffs. So do you guys kind of feel that revenge you want to get against them at all, or is it just kind of you're doing what you're trying to do?
A little bit of both. I mean, I remember the feeling last year sitting in the bullpen watching as our lead trickled away, both in the first game and the second game, and it's always tough to come back to Bourne and know that happened just about a year ago. So it'll be really great to come back and try and give them a game. We certainly owe them one.
And what would you say is the main thing that you guys need to get done to try and get the win over the next 2 days?
Just like we've always been doing, keep the runners off base, and a lot of timely hits from our new guys is going to be big.
Great. Well, thank you, Noah. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Claudia. We're going to discuss today's pitchers after this short break, and later, don't miss the starting lineups presented by Chatham Barzin. But first, we're going to take a short break here on the Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health.
You're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations, Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. The second round of the playoffs is especially interesting due to teams usually relying on starting pitching from secondary guys. For example, the Gatemen have used their 1-2 starting combo of Aaron Hernandez and Noah Zavalis in the first round. Now it's time to rely on some other guys to step up. For the Gatemen, it's going to be Fitz Stadler set to take the Dorn Park mound for his 5th start of the season. Stadler's 1-3 with a 3.72 ERA and 9 total outings this year. The 6'9 ASU Sun Devil started against the Braves in the season finale at Spillane Field. He only pitched 2 innings and allowed 2 runs, but both were unearned as the Gatemen defense behind him failed to protect their pitcher. The good news for Stadler is that the Falmouth's 8 runs in round 1 were all earned, and the Gatemen defense really stepped up big time in that series, especially the likes of Gatemen third baseman Jaron Duran and left fielder John Topa. For the Bourne Braves, it's going to be Daniel Bees making his 7th start and 8th appearance of the season. The righty Gonzaga Bulldog is 3-2 with a 3.09 ERA. Interestingly enough, even though this is his 8th start, this is Daniel Bees' first start at Doran Park, right at home for the Bourne Braves, where Bourne was 13-9 this season. Bees allowed 52 hits in 45 innings at Gonzaga this year, where he held a 1.26 strikeout to walk ratio. Let's send it back out to our Claudia Chakamian, who's with Gatemen manager Don Snedden.
Thank you. So, Coach, first of all, how ready is your team to get back out there and play after the off day from yesterday?
Well, they're just like the whole season. They come ready for the game, whether it's the playoffs or the first game of the year or right in the middle. You know, my goal for them was to come the same way to the ballpark every day, like today is the last game of the year. So I think they're ready, just like they've been trained, just like they were ready last week and the week before.
Now, the regular season ended on a tough skid against Bourne, the home and home. What's different about what you guys can see in hopefully this series?
I don't know. I'm hoping a lot's different because we didn't do very well. So I'm hoping our pitching does a better job, obviously. They're a great hitting club. They're not here by accident, so we're going to have to mix it up. And they're not a big power hitting club. They just seem to put the ball in play in the holes. So we got to see if we can cover some holes, get some good pitching, and hopefully get some time to hitting ourselves.
Now, kind of a rivalry has developed in the postseason between these two clubs, especially the past 2 years. The Braves knocking out the Gatemen in the first round with sweeps. So do you see any kind of revenge that your team wants to kind of get, or are you guys thinking about that at all?
No, they weren't here. There's only one guy that was here for that, so they don't even know anything about that. And that's fine because, again, you create the game based on you're going to come out and do the best you can every single game, no matter what else is going on. You got to get rid of all these external factors and get rid of those things and focus on the game, one pitch at a time.
Now, do you think the Gatemen have any sort of momentum coming off that Falmouth sweep? Yeah, Bourne also swept Katuitt, but do you think the guys are feeling kind of good coming off of really good 2 wins against a very good team?
Well, you get confidence, sure. I mean, you know, we just come off 2 losses, but yet we came and beat the first place team twice, so you figure that. We had no momentum going into it. Excuse me. So right now it's just a matter, again, of us realizing that nobody thinks we can win this thing. We're at the bottom of the barrel, so it's sort of fun not being that favorite. The target's on their back, and we just get to come in and play our game.
And we're going to see Fitzstadler on the mound today. Probably a lot of bullpen guys coming in and out throughout the game. Yeah. So what do you really hope you can see from the entire pitching staff in today's game?
Well, we got to mix it up. And, you know, last time he threw against him, he came out with a little problem with his fingernail. So we're hoping that doesn't become an issue. And we're just going to have to mix this thing up and see if we can keep them off balance a little bit.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Best of luck. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Claudia. It's now time to run through today's lineups brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn. First for the visiting Wareham Gatemen, Stephen Kwan leading off in center field out of Oregon State. Robbie Metz from George Washington is in right field batting second. Jaron Duran out of Long Beach State batting third at second base. Joe Durpich out of Siena College is DHing and batting cleanup. John Topa batting fifth out of UConn in left field. Kyle Kasser from Oregon batting sixth at third base. Jake Anchia from Nova Southeastern batting seventh at first base. William McIver out of Washington is catching and batting eighth. And Randy Taveras is batting ninth and playing shortstop for the Gatemen. And for the Bourne Braves at home, Grant Williams leading off and playing second base. Another Arizona State Sun Devil, Lyle Lynn, batting second and at first. Richie Palacios batting third and left. Nebraska's Scott Schreiber DHing, batting fourth. Jamison Hanna batting fifth and playing center field. Jared Triolo, the third baseman, is batting sixth. Zach Susi, a teammate at UConn of John Topa's, is batting seventh and catching. Grant Witherspoon in right field batting eighth. And Louisville's Tyler Fitzgerald batting ninth and playing shortstop. The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send your questions, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. It's time to welcome in Gatemen beat writer Matt Feld to the pregame show. How are you, Matt?
How are you, Sam?
I am wonderful. So the Gatemen, while it was a very impressive series win versus Falmouth, looking forward, they don't have, the 2 starting pitchers that they had to use against Falmouth, Zavalis and Hernandez. So how do you see the pitching shaping out past Stadler today?
Well, I hope you have a lot of columns in your scorebook because you're going to need them. It seems these next couple of days are going to be staff days. Fitzstadler, pitching coach Jim Lawler would love 1 inning. He'd love 2 innings. He'd love 3 innings. He'd love 4 innings. They just don't know what they're going to get. They're hoping for 2 or 3, and then they can kind of bridge the gap from there. Grant Wilfram will be first out of the bullpen. He only threw 1 inning against Falmouth because of some control issues that he had, but they would love to get 2 or 3 innings out of them and then turn it over to Dalton Roach, Barrett Lowski, and Brett Canine for 7, 8, 9. But pitching coach Jim Lawler saying all hands on deck for these first 2 games.
All right, Matt. Let's hear a prediction not only for this series, but for the other series in the East Division, which is going to feature the Orleans Firebirds and the Brewster Whitecaps. That game one of that series starting at 7 p.m. tonight at Eldridge Park in Orleans.
Well, let's start with the Eastern Division. We'll make my West prediction a little more suspenseful. I'll take the Orleans Firebirds. They've been the best team in the Cape League all season long, behind Logan Gilbert and Ryan Rollison. They've got the best offense, highlighted, of course, by Jimmy Herron. Brewster has put up an admirable fight. They've gotten a lot farther than I thought they would, and they've got some really nice offensive pieces, highlighted by A.J. Graffinino, Mickey Gasper behind the plate. So that's been very impressive. And on the West, whoever scores first in Game 1 is going to win this series. And I'm going to take the Gatemen to win 8-6 tonight, and I will take Wareham to win tomorrow. But if it went the other way, I would not be surprised. Bourne's had the Gatemen's number, and I truly think whoever scores first in Game 1 gets the momentum and kind of knocks the opposing team out will win this series.
There's the big bold prediction from Matt Feld. Thank you to our beat writer. Be sure to read him on gatemen.org. And follow him on Twitter. He has like over 2,600 Twitter followers or something. Let's take a break, but it's going to be real quick, so don't move. Gatemen Playoff Baseball is next on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. That's going to do it for me here on the pregame show. Let's send it to our wonderful broadcast crew, which features 2 MVPs of the season. First, out of Suffolk University, Jacob Toby. And then out of Syracuse University, right by his side, Connor Federico.
That was probably the best introduction, sending it from the pregame show to the broadcast team this whole season.
I loved it, but I just want to throw myself out there. When we were here on the 4th of July, after the anthem, I said the home of the Braves on the night for the home of the home of the Brave.
Okay.
What do you think was better?
I honestly,
I like that a lot too.
I still picked his.
I like that a lot too.
I still picked his.
It was a lot of the wrestling stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
The big intros. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you very much, Sam Corman. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico here with you at Dorn Park in Bourne, Massachusetts. The second round of the Western Division playoffs. They call them the Western Division Finals. And we take a look now, Connor, at the other side, the East. You witnessed some games yesterday. You were at both games at one point during the night. Talk about your experience last night.
Well, it was just Cape League baseball at its finest, and we've done all the Wareham games, so I haven't gotten much of a chance to go out and see other Cape League baseball, but a crowd of 2,200 at YD witnessed the Red Sox tie up the game down 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and then the Brewster Whitecaps took a lead in the 10th, hung on, but just barely. That was an incredible game. And then we drove over to the home of the Orleans Firebirds at Eldridge Park to watch the end of John Schiffner's Cape League career coaching the Chatham Anglers. And it was, that game wasn't as great. Orleans won in pretty convincing fashion with their pitching, of course. And, I mean, that was a crowd of over 3,300 plus. It was just an incredible night for baseball. Great food at the ballpark, great players, great everything. A nice little tribute for John Schiffner at the end of the game, saluting an Eldridge Park crowd of thousands for a good 45 seconds to a minute. He got just a standing O, and so did the Orleans players. It's going to be a great rest of the playoffs from here on in. Last night in the East Division, it was awesome.
I think it may be getting overshadowed how good Orleans has still been in the postseason because the West playoffs have been so crazy with Catuit, Bourne, and Falmouth, Wareham, those series being a little bit jumbled up. I mean, Orleans is clearly still the best team in the league.
Yeah, and they have been since the very start. And they're a team that will probably, in my opinion, smack around the underdog Brewster Whitecaps. I mean, Brewster just showed more heart and more fight than YD. I don't think Brewster has anywhere near the talent that Orleans has, especially with the pitching. I mean, Brewster's bullpen right now, after that 3-game series, it's totally ravaged, and they're going to be looking for some guys to step up on limited rest, or guys who haven't performed well to step up on limited rest. Sort of the opposite problem with what the Gatemen have. You have plenty of pitchers right now who can help you out in clutch situations, guys who haven't been here all year, like Darian Reagans the other day.
Talk about the impact of YD losing. They're not going to be going for 4 straight titles, and it's kind of weird. They will not be in the championship game for the first time in 4 years.
And you felt it around the park yesterday. It was fans sort of flustered after 3 straight years of postseason success, even if it didn't come in the regular season. In fact, this summer was one of YD's most successful regular seasons. So it was very different, and I think it was a way different feeling for those YD fans. Sort of devastating, but every team who's left in the playoffs, Sam Corman tweeted it out last night. The Gatemen are the most recent team to win a championship, and that was back in 2012. Brewster, who's still in it, hasn't won since 2000. And then you have Bourne and Orleans, who are somewhere in between. So all these teams are hungry. All these towns that the teams represent really want a championship.
So YD loses. That's a big storyline. You mentioned it a little bit. Maybe talk a bit more. John Schiffner is no more in the Cape Cod Baseball League after 25 years.
Well, and you've written about this guy extensively. You know his resume and what he means to the Chatham area and Anglers fans. And in Chatham, when you have we've talked about the summer people and how it affects fan bases, and in Chatham, when you have this turnover of people from week in, week out, different tenants in Chatham nearly every couple of days, but they all know who John Schiffner is, because that's the kind of lasting legacy that he has. When you know, a whole town, regardless of how many locals or how many summer people, they all know who he is. They all know what impact he's had.
Teams getting ready and set for the national anthem. Let's turn it over to the public address announcer.
Please rise and remove your caps for tonight's anthem. The Braves are excited to welcome back Jillian Corelli to Doran Park to perform tonight's anthem.
Bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous nights. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that thy flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. The Braves are thrilled to welcome back.
Bourne keeping it somewhat similar. The last time the Gatemen were here, they wear their same uniforms. They also bring back the same anthem singer.
Well, I mean, a booming opera-esque, very nice voice. So that was enjoyable. But the uniforms are a hot topic today, Jacob. Both teams wearing blue. Not sure if they miscommunicated or, you know, it's baseball. It doesn't matter tremendously. But with the bases loaded, you know, that might be a tricky situation later on in this game.
Well, that'll be fun for us for sure. First pitch about to be thrown out here at Doran Park. Nice strike. And we're just about ready for baseball. This place is absolutely packed.
To capacity, nearly. I don't think there's an open seat available. You'd have to bring your own if you wanted to sit down somewhere. What a great atmosphere for baseball. The bridge rivalry to decide the West Division. Nothing's better than that.
Some interesting music here. I'm getting emotional as we start this broadcast.
Well, I mean, it means a lot to both of these fan bases. Think about the last time either of them have been in the league championship series. It's been a while, so both of these teams looking to do their towns proud.
Wareham's starting lineup goes like this. Stephen Kwan is the center fielder. He bats first. Robbie Metz in right field today, batting second. Jaron Duran is batting third. He's at second base. Joe Durpich is the DH batting cleanup. John Topa in left field. Kyle Kasser at third. Jake Anchia, the first baseman, bats seventh. Willie McIver doing the catching, batting eighth. Randy Taveras, the shortstop, will bat ninth. And the defense for the Bourne Braves goes like this. Jared Triolo is at third. Tyler Fitzgerald, the shortstop. Grant Williams at second. Lyle Lynn at first. Left to right in the outfield. Richie Palacios, Jamison Hanna, Grant Witherspoon. Zach Susi does the catching for one. Daniel Bees.
Yeah, Daniel B, it's time to get down and dirty at Doran Park for him for the very first time as a starter. He's made plenty of appearances and starts for the Bourne Braves in the regular season. Most of them came on the road. Now he gets to perform in front of his home crowd at Doran Park. The only time he pitched here was a relief appearance the very first game of the season. And since, he's been a road warrior for the Braves.
Rick Emerson is the home plate umpire. Vicente Alexander Medina is at first. Brian Troop at second. Stephen Williams, the umpire, at third. Wareham in their blue road uniforms, red numbers, gray pants. Bourne in their blue shirted uniforms, white pants with white numbers. And now Stephen Kwan will step in the batter's box to face Daniel Bees. Kwan 304, no home runs and 13 RBIs. First pitch from Bees is ball one, and we're underway at Dorn Park. Bees 6'8", 255 pounds, throws from the right side. Time is called here for a moment as Brian Troop, the second base umpire, looking out to right field. Now play will be resumed. It is Kwan, Metz, and Duran here in the first. And strike one delivered from Daniel Bees. Bees out of Gonzaga, a rising senior. Facing the Oregon State product, Stephen Kwan. 1-1 on the ground. The first baseman, Lynn, will run it over himself for out number one.
Lyle Lynn, the first baseman, was at both of the games yesterday. At both, he was at where were we? YD for the first game against the Brewster Whitecaps, and then he was also at the end of the Orleans Chatham game. So was Gateman starter Fitz Stadler.
Robbie Metz, the right fielder, George Washington product, 258, no home runs, 7 RBIs. He takes strike one from Bees. Bees really tall on the hill, 6'8".
Yeah, and when we see Sadler 6'9", not much is going to change, except both these guys are very, very tall.
0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, and off speed fooled Robbie Metz. He's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Metz just around 6 feet tall. I mean, it's a big advantage for pitchers. When you have so much height, everything's going into the hitters on a downward angle. More likely they'll ground the ball.
0-2 pitch is cut on and missed. Back-to-back off-speed pitches fools Metz for out number 2 here in the top of the first. No score at Dorn Park.
Yeah, Daniel Bees getting a nice, getting some nice cheering and some nice encouragement from the Dorn Park crowd, something that he's not used to. So he's definitely glad to get it in this situation. This crowd will have a major factor in the game tonight.
Jaron Durant at second base, 281, no home runs, 10 RBIs. Showing bunt, and couldn't connect with it for strike one. Going for the slap bunt, it looked like, on his way down to first base.
Yeah, he was almost out of the batter's box if he would have made contact with it.
0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just outside, framed by the catcher, Zach Susi, who we did not see behind the plate in the past couple games versus the Bourne Braves.
A really good defensive catcher. It'll be tough for the Gatemen to steal bases today.
1-1 pitch. A fastball, and Duran was late on it. He's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, seems like all 3 hitters we've seen for the Gatemen so far don't have much of a plan against Bees. They seem to be very fooled. Bees has great command right now. The balls he's missed out of the strike zone have not missed by much, and doing a good job mixing up speeds.
From the stretch, Bees, the 1-2. Just outside, Duran taking it. Count evened up, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Duran tied 9th in the league in walks this season with 20. Two-two pitch. Connected with, up the middle for a base hit. Wareham fans love it right behind us. Duran took a fast turnaround first. He'll stop there with a 2-out single.
Well, what you don't want is to go through a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. That gives Bourne some momentum heading into the bottom of the frame. Duran doing a good job keeping Bees out there, keeping this pitch count working. Matt Feld said in the pregame he thinks that the team who scores first in this series wins the whole thing, and if that could be the Gatemen, that would be huge.
Joe Durpich. He has been something else for the Wareham Gatemen. He swings and misses on the first pitch he sees. And something else to note, Sean Callahan is the third base coach for the Gatemen. Don Snedden, Wareham's head coach, is at first. We usually see Jimmy Francos, one of the assistant coaches, at third. That's changed as Durpich foul tips it into the mitt of Susi. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, no one can really catch up with Bees' fastball right now. It's not that it has a ton of speed. I think they're just looking for something else.
Duran, the runner at first. 2 outs, no score. Top of the first. 0-2 pitch is set to right, down the right field line, and turning foul. And from our vantage point to the right of home plate, down the first base line, you need to stand up and check it because it's 300 down that right field line.
It's the pesky pole at Fenway Park, basically just brought here to Doran Park in Bourne. You've got 300 down the line, and then for the normal part of right field, it's 360. It's got an interesting curvature.
The check over on Duran. He slides back safely. Lyle Lynn, the first base, manning first base today. Oh, 2 pitch. Fouled off. Rattles the crowd mic through the netting. John Topa is on deck if he gets a chance. Against Daniel Bees. A check over on Duran, the tag. Not in time, it was a close play. No balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Bees' pitch. And it's turned on and sent out to deep right center field. And that one will leave the yard. Before it was caught, though. It was caught. In right center field, it was caught by Grant Witherspoon, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 1 man left aboard. No score here at Doran Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Bottom of the first. And here is the Bourne lineup. Grant Williams, the second baseman, will lead it off. Lyle Lynn is at first. Richie Palacios, the left fielder. Scott Schreiber, the DH, batting cleanup. Jamison Hanna, the center fielder. Jared Triolo at third. Zach Susi, the catcher, batting seventh. Grant Witherspoon in right. Tyler Fitzgerald, the shortstop, will bat ninth. The defense for the Gatemen goes like this. Kyle Kasser is at third. Randy Taveras, the shortstop. Jaron Duran at second. Jake Ganchia at first. Left to right in the outfield, John Topa, Stephen Kwan, Robbie Metz. Willie McIver does the catching for Fitz Stadler. Stadler 6'9", 234 pounds, will face Grant Williams. First pitch is outside for ball one.
And 6'9" seems crazy until you read the height of Daniel B. as his counterpart on the mound today, who stands 6'8". It's an exciting matchup.
1-0 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Williams on the regular season, 326, no home runs, 13 RBIs. 2-0, zips in for strike one.
Yeah, the command really needs to be on for Stadler and then the rest of the pitching staff tonight. You can't be walking people. That's how you're going to lose this series if you put runners on with free passes.
2-1. Sent foul down the left field line. Hits the screen. And already Baylor Sundahl warming up in the bullpen for Bourne.
Interesting that Bees is definitely going more than one inning unless he is experiencing pain we don't know about. But yeah, on that 2-2, Williams broke his bat. He had to get a new one.
Yeah, funny talking about Bees before the game with one of the Bourne broadcasters, Justin Galanti, and he was saying basically Bees' stat line every single game is 5 innings, couple hits, earned run.
He's certainly reliable for them, and he got a good portion. He had pitched in a good portion of the 22 wins that the Braves got this year.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Stadler. Just outside. Count run is full. Last time we saw Stadler was versus the Bourne Braves. He went 2 innings. 2 runs. 3-2 pitch. Chopped in the box, foul off to the right.
Williams has worked himself a really good at-bat this far. Makes Stadler work. You know he's not going to go a ton of innings for the Gatemen. He did have 1 5-inning performance this season, but other than that, Donstead and Jim Lawler keeping a close eye on him. You have plenty of options in the bullpen tonight. And it looks like Williams has taken advantage of that early.
3-2 pitch from Stadler. He swung on and missed. The ball gets away from McIver. Has to throw to first, and he can't. He can't pick it up. Williams will reach on the strikeout.
It's a really tough break for Fitz Stadler. He gets a good strikeout, but Willie McIver can't squeeze it, and it bounces off his glove and over to the little brick backstop behind home plate. And Williams has plenty of speed to make that one not even a close play. So Stadler, he wins the at-bat, but puts the base runner on, and that's frustrating.
Lyle Lynn, the catcher, turned first baseman here on the Cape. Fouled off of McIver. 0-1.
Well, similar to Blake Sable for the Gatemen, he's a catcher back at school who has the height to play first base, and Bourne has used him there from time to time. Lynn 6'2", but that's still very tall for a catcher.
Runner on first, no outs. 0-1 pitch. Stadler is lined right to the third baseman, Kasser. He makes the catch. Fakes the throw over to first. Nice catch made to retire Lyle Lynn.
That looked like it was going to be over the head of Kyle Kasser, and then he took a quick little step back on it, made a nice leap in the air, and brought it down. That's exactly the athleticism and the smarts that Kyle Kasser brings you on the left side of the infield. We've seen him at shortstop mostly, and now back at third base. He can play either one pretty well. Such a strong arm. Great hops, just showed him off there.
Richie Palacios, 278, 1 home run, 16 RBI regular season. Takes ball 1.
One of the only guys in this Bourne lineup who hasn't been incredibly effective against the Gatemen this season. He's hitting well under 250 against Wareham.
One-oh pitch. In for strike 1. Wareham in the Western Division Finals for the first time since 2012. It's been a while. Runner on first with 1 out, no score. 1-1 pitch on the ground to Anchi at first, steps on the back, throws down to second. The tag is in time. And that will end the inning on a double play Jake Anchia steps on the bag and then throws down to second base to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left aboard. We head to the second, no score, Dorn Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
John Topo will lead it off for Wareham. Top of the second at Dorn Park. No score. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico bringing you the action in the Western Division Finals.
5, 6, 7, not a bad part of the order for the Gatemen to start off with. These guys have been incredibly successful. Topa, Kasser, Anchia specifically has driven in a bunch of runs in this postseason.
Topa takes a breaking ball low and outside for ball 1.
6 for Anchia in the postseason. 4 in game 1 against Falmouth. 7, I apologize, and 3 in game 2. He's been a monster.
1-0 pitch, up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. John Topa rakes against the Bourne Braves. Highest batting average on the team, 480 in 6 games.
And in the postseason, he has been the beneficiary of Anchia driving in runs. He's scored 4 in the past 2 games.
2-0 pitch. Sends it to the first baseman, Lyle Lynn. He'll flip on to Bees, his pitcher, for out number 1.
Bunch of hard hit balls so far from the Gatemen. Topa smacks that one the other way, looking for the hole between the first baseman and the second baseman, but just right at Lynn instead. Kasser, another guy who likes to shoot it to the opposite field, but as a lefty, he'll be looking towards left field. Also has had a really great postseason, also dominates the Bourne Braves.
Kyle Kasser is at third today. We've seen him at shortstop last 2 games. Bees from the stretch. First pitch, lined right to the left fielder, Palacios, for a quick out number 2.
Yeah, Bees has thrown plenty of pitches right over the heart of the plate, or good pitches to hit, and the Gatemen hitters have swung at them, but they've only gotten Jaron Duran on base today, so they're getting the pitches they want. They're swinging early in the count, which is different from what they did for the majority of the season. Got to get the pitch you want and then do something with it, too. That's the difference. That's how you win games.
Jake Anchia take a curveball in for strike 1, inside part of the plate. Gatemen had the highest batting average out of any team in the first round in the Cape League, 315.
And they have the best 3 batters left.
0-1, a quick strike thrown in, no balls and 2 strikes to Anchia. They also had the highest OPS, 805. Next closest was the Falmouth Commodores at 744. 0-2 pitch in the dirt. And Wareham during the season 6th in the league in batting average and 8th in OPS. 1-2 pitch, way up and in. Breaking ball did not break, turning away Jake Anchia.
That one just slipped. Nothing intentional there from Bees for sure. I mean, he's trying to keep his pitch count low.
2-2 pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt. Strike 3. And the Gatemen go 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left aboard. To the bottom of the second, no score at Doran Park. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Leading off for the Braves.
Doran Park,
The designated hitter, number 39,
site of the
from Nebraska,
2017
Scott
Western Division Finals here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico.
We would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Cape Cod Potato Chips.
Our sideline reporter Claudia Chikamian on hand as well. Bottom of the second, Fitz Stadler will face Scott Schreiber, the DH. Stadler from the stretch, the 6'9". Righty delivers the first pitch, cut on and missed from Schreiber, 0-1.
Yeah, the last time that we were here at Bourne, man, it was a bomb Scott Schreiber hit way out there into left field. He's been great for Bourne.
0-1. Painted nicely on the outside part, 0-2. Schreiber 255, 3 home runs, 17 runs batted in during the regular season. 0-2 pitch from Stadler, cut on and missed. Second strikeout thrown by Fitz Stadler. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Yeah, and the first strikeout didn't go as well for Stadler. He got the K on 3-2, and then Williams was able to reach on a drop third strike for the first Bourne batter of this game. This time, McIver squeezes the high fastball, and man, what a sequence of 3 pitches. Schreiber confused and Stadler dominant.
Jamison Hanna is in center field. Bats from the left side, takes ball 1. Hanna 5'10", 185 pounds.
A great mix of power and speed. He's shown off both against the Gatemen and the rest of the league. Great center fielder.
1-0 pitch. Out to left center field over the head of Taveras and to center for a base hit. A 1-out single for Jamison Hanna with no score in the bottom of the second at Doran Park.
First hit of the night for the Braves, and it's a good piece of hitting. Just saw that one on the outer half, drove it to the opposite fields, right over the head of the shortstop. And Hanna, he's a guy that can steal a base, but McIver behind the plate, certainly a guy who can throw people out. So we'll probably see a steady diet of fastballs in this at-bat against Troiolo, making sure that Hanna can't run.
A check over on Hanna. He dives back safely. Jared Triolo, the third baseman. Highest batting average against the Gatemen out of anyone in the Bourne lineup. .438 this season in 4 games. First pitch, swung on and hit foul. Off to the right against the screen behind home plate.
Well, the Gatemen and their fans have certainly felt the effects of Triolo. You said .438. I mean, that is very high, and he's found his way on base several times against the Gatemen in this season series, able to find ways to score.
1 on, 1 out, no score. Triolo at the plate from the right side, takes a pitch off the elbow. And he heads down to first, runners on first and second.
Looks like that one just got him in the elbow pad. He doesn't seem to be feeling any pain over there. But he'll gladly take the jog on down to first base. That moves Hannah over to second. First runner in scoring position for either team tonight. Hannah has the speed to score on just about any base hit to the outfield. And Susie can deliver that kind of hit, so Stadler has to be careful now.
Also, something that Bourne has changed is some walk-up songs today.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've heard that in the Cape League all season.
No.
Pretty sure there's a rule against it.
That I do not know. We'll have to get confirmation. Zach Susie, the catcher, bat from the left side. 2 on, 1 out. Takes ball 1 low. Bourne had the highest on-base percentage out of any team in the first round, 372. They've got 2 on with 1 out. Stadler looks back, the runner at second. 1-0 is sent foul off to the left over the snack shack.
Surprising they had the highest on-base percentage considering the Gatemen had 14 runs in 2 days against the Falmouth Commodores. But both teams to advance out of the West didn't necessarily have strong offensive regular seasons, and then the pieces just sort of clicked right at the end.
1 ball and 1 strike. Stadler looks back, the runner on second twice, delivers a ball up high. They check over with Stephen Williams at third. Susie does not go around. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Last time we were here, Williams was honored for Umpire of the Year. He was behind the plate that night. Now he's over at third.
He's done a fine job this season. Two one. Chip foul down the first base line.
Good off-speed pitch right there by Stadler. Got the hitter Susie way out in front. Now you have a 2-strike count. You would really like strike 3 or a ground ball. Get yourself 1 step closer to getting out of this inning. Susie doesn't have a ton of speed. Middle infield at double play depth. Tavera's also sort of holding on the runner. Hannah at shortstop.
Hannah at second, Triolo at first. 2-2. Set foul. Behind home plate. Back to the screen. Count still even.
Yeah, really close to strike 3. Susie just got only a little bit of the bat on that pitch.
Bottom of the second, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on, 1 out, and no score. Zach Susie from the left side at the plate. Stadler, the righty. 2-2 is whiffed at and missed. Breaking ball, fooling Susie for out number 2, strikeout number 3.
Good pitch right there by Stadler, low in the zone. And a little off speed, and Susie way out ahead of it, swings right through it with 1 hand. Now both middle infielders talking to Stadler about how they're going to keep Hannah on over there at second base, make sure he can't get too good of a secondary lead. Because if Witherspoon can get to hit to the outfield, Bourne will score first.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Here comes Grant Witherspoon, the right fielder. 234, 2 home runs, 19 RBIs. And swings on the first pitch and can't connect.
Stadler has thrown some good strikes, but has also gotten some help from the Bourne hitters in these first 2 innings, chasing pitches out of the strike zone. That one was high for sure.
Witherspoon led the CCBL in doubles with 11 this season. 0-1 becomes 0-2. Nice frame by Willie McIver.
Yeah, but it was a strike anyway, and it was a really good pitch on the low inner half of the plate. Stadler finding this command, finding this dominance he's been lacking most of the season.
2 on, 2 out. 0-2 pitch. Does not chase the high cheese. And some fans doing a little chirping behind us.
I love the slow clap. It's probably my favorite thing in baseball. The Gatemen faithful have brought their A game today. Oh, here it comes.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. And 2 runners on, no score, bottom of the second. Here comes the pitch. It's in the dirt. Nice block from McIver.
Really excellent athletic play to get his body in front of that, keep it in front of him. Hanna moves over to third. And then Triolo was able to take second on a pass ball. This becomes a very different situation. Stadler still has a bit of leeway.
Hanna at second, Triolo at first. And 2 outs. The pitch is low again. And the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Witherspoon.
Yeah, Witherspoon did a really good job in this at-bat. Getting down 0-2 and then finding his way back to force a full count. That can put the runners in motion, too.
Infield on the edge of the grass. 2 on, 2 out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Stadler's pitch. Runners go. It's fouled off. Just behind home plate.
Good pitch there by Stadler, trying to fool Witherspoon up high. But again, just gets a bit of a piece of the bat on it. All these Bourne hitters right now doing a good job keeping these at-bats long against Stadler.
Spoon is his nickname. 3-2. Strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts for Stadler. Witherspoon is gone, and that will end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left aboard. We head to the third. No score at Dorn Park on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network, everyone. I'm Claudia Chikamian with a quick Gatemen game break. So I know we've talked a lot about the kind of rivalry that's formed between the Bourne Braves and the Wareham Gatemen over the past few years. 6 times the teams have met in the postseason since 2000. When I talked to the team and the coaches, they said they're not really concerned about that or thinking about that at all. Like, a lot of players from last year and previous years are not on this team. Of course, I talked to Robbie Metz, who did play in the series last year here at Bourne, and he said this is just another game for him. He's not thinking about what's happened in the past and what happened last year in the playoffs. He said, yeah, it still bothers him a little bit, but that's not what he's focusing on. This is just another game, another series that he wants to go out there and win. I talked to Noah Zavalis, who was a 10th player last year. He said he wants to go out there and get the revenge. He's a competitive guy. When I talked to Coach Sneddon, he said no, he's not worried about that. The team's not worried about that. This is a brand new team. It's a brand new year. It's just focus on today and what can happen in today's game in this series. So now let's go see what's happening in this series. Back to you, Jacob and Connor.
Thank you very much. Top of the third, no score between the Gatemen and the Bravos. Jacob Toby and Connor Federico, as well as Claudia Chikamian. You just heard from her. Willie McIver will face Daniel Bees. Take ball 1 up and in. I also talked to Noah Zavalis about the revenge, and he said, just got to win both games and move on. 1-0. Popped up behind home plate. It will go out of bounds, out of foul territory.
Claudia makes a great point that so many of these guys were not here, didn't know much about the Cape League, probably didn't know either of these teams existed when the last time that these two faced off in the playoffs. But even for the guys who were here, right now it's really just about moving forward. All the external factors we're talking about don't matter much to them.
1-1, taken for strike 2.
Not to say that they don't want to win the game or win the series. It's just about the present for them, and that's a good mindset to have. Not the revenge mindset, but both can be powerful motivational tools.
Little chopper in the infield. Bees barehands it, throws to first, in time. McIver running as hard as he could, but he's retired for out number 1.
Well, we know how hard McIver can run, and his speed made that a tough play for Bees. He had no choice but to pick it up with one hand and immediately fired over it to Lynn without any hesitation. That could have been a nice little infield single for the Gatemen, but a better play by Bees.
Here comes Randy Taveras. He takes strike 1. The Marist product getting a start here in the playoffs.
Yeah, and replacing Giovanni Dinkong, not in position, but in the batting order. You go, Dinkong didn't have much success in the first series.
0-1. Check swing, called strike anyway.
So I guess now for Don Sneddon, it's time to see what Taveras can bring you with his bat. He brings good defense.
0-2 pitch. He swings and misses on a breaking ball. He sees 3 pitches and he's retired by way of the K. 2 outs.
Just a really good sequence of pitches right there from Bees, and you can't say anything more about it. All in the strike zone. Maybe that one just a little low at the end, but Taveras was fooled on a good slider breaking ball that moved away from him. Bees has been absolutely dominant so far. Only 1 hit for either of these sides, but Bees has had the better command of the strike zone.
Stephen Kwan grounded out to the first baseman his first time up. He takes strike 1 on that breaking ball, which seems to be really working right now for Bees.
Drops a long, long way in there. That one probably started around Kwan's neck and then ended right in the top part of the strike zone. He's got to be careful. He doesn't want to do that to these hitters who could take it for a long, long way. I mean, with that pesky pole down there, even these smaller guys like Stephen Kwan have opportunities to hit home runs here.
0-1. Way up and away on a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and no score, top of the 3rd.
That's a good idea on 0-1.
Pitch taken for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And Kwan's got to put this ball in play, make it a nice defensive swing, try to use your speed to beat out a base hit.
1-2. Up and away, and Susi couldn't even hang on to it. It goes to the backstop.
Well, the idea there, going high fastball after getting the high curveball to fall in the strike zone, is that the hitter's eye level is already primed up there. And the last time they saw a pitch up there, it eventually was called for a strike after the curveball dropped down. So you see if you can get them to swing.
2-2. Kwan. Another slow roller to the first baseman. He steps on the bag and retires Kwan to end the inning. Gatemen 3 up, 3 down once more. Still no score to the bottom of the 3rd here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod, Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians, expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care. Bottom of the third at Doran Park. Wareham and Bourne. Jacob Toby and Connor Federico. It is 9-1-2. Tyler Fitzgerald, Grant Williams, Lyle Lynn to face Fitzstadler.
Yeah, Fitzgerald hasn't gotten a ton of playing time against the Gatemen in the regular season, but now getting his hacks in the 9 spot, replacing Prado over there at shortstop.
First pitch at the at-bat. Off the third base bag, it's going to be ruled fair, bouncing in the left field. First pitch he sees, turns on it, and ricochets off the third base bag.
The Gatemen actually got a huge favor right there from third base. If that one had skipped over the bag and for sure stayed fair, that could have been a double down the third base line with Fitzgerald's speed, and Topa was pretty far away from where that ball would have been, the left fielder. Instead, it bounces high in the air. The third baseman, Kasser, can grab it, and it just remains a single. That was pretty big.
Grant Williams to the plate from the left side, the leadoff hitter. He takes ball 1 outside. Tyler Fitzgerald, the runner at first. Grant Williams was a beast this season. 7th in the league in batting average, 7th in the league in runs scored. Chips the 1-0 in the box off his right foot.
Williams at 5'10" is the smallest Bourne player that we will see up to bat. A major upgrade for these Gatemen pitchers compared to the Falmouth series, where you got to go through guys like Clayton Daniel and Austin Lang. Clayton Daniel's 5'7", Langworthy and Steinmetz 5'9". Really effective guys at getting on base, but they're not playing anymore.
1 ball and 1 strike. To Williams. Takes it outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bourne has 1 Cape League championship in their long history. That was back in 2009 versus the Kettleers. Two-one pitch. Sent foul off to the left. Bourne's been in the championship game 3 times with a .333 winning percentage.
So 1 for 3. Not too bad.
And the one time they did win it, 2009, they snapped a streak of 2 straight championships for the Kettleers.
Yeah. That was before the playoffs were separated east-west, though.
Two-two pitch. Fouled off of the catcher's helmet.
Been a good at-bat by Williams once again. The last time we saw him out here, he got the count to 3-2 and then fouled off a couple more pitches. This time, the count 2-2 and a couple foul balls. With a runner on base and Stadler with a pitch count above 35. This is exactly what Bourne and Harvey Shapiro want.
Runner on first, no outs, no score, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Williams. Stadler on the hill. The righty delivers. On the ground to the second baseman, Duran. They'll go to second for 1, to first, 4-6-3. And now there are 2 outs.
Duran got that ball out of his glove with such urgency. Really impressive, fielding it off the ground and then flipping. Not even a flip, it was a hard line drive to his shortstop, Tavares, who made a really good throw, and a nice stretch from Ansia. Williams has really great speed. You don't expect a guy like him to get doubled up, but even better stuff from the middle infield of the Gatemen.
Lyle Lynn lined out to Kyle Kasser at third on one pitch. His first time up. Takes ball one as it bounces to the backstop.
At this time of day now, the second baseman, first baseman, Fitz Stadler, the pitcher, they're all dealing with the sun bright in their eyes, waiting for the shadows to cast over them.
1-0. Outside, but swung on and missed. 1 ball and 1 strike. There is a shadow creeping in from the right side of home plate, but it hasn't reached first base yet. It's in the grassy area in the infield between the pitcher's mound and first base. 1-1 to Lynn. Sends it up in the air to right. Making the catch is Duran. He's out there to put Lynn away and end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no men left aboard. Still no score. We head to the 4th. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
2-3-4 to face Daniel Bees here at Dorn Park. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico, bringing you Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham coming off a 2-game sweep of the Falmouth Commodores, beating Falmouth 10-5 in Game 1 and 4-3 in Game 2.
It was a really successful series for them, trying to replicate that success now.
Robbie Metz, check swing, but he takes a called strike on the outside part of the plate.
Don Sneddon over there coaching first base today. He's sort of had the same stoic look over there for a while now.
0-1. Oh, nice play by Triolo, the third baseman, as he dives, throws across the diamond, and it's in time. What a play from Triolo, the third baseman. Inches away from being a base hit down that third base line. 1 out.
He robbed Metz of a double, if anything. That one hit really hard down the line, picks it up on a 1-hop, and he barely beat Metz. Call by Medina, the first base umpire. It looked like he knew it was close, but gave the Web Gem its completion by calling him out.
Wow,
I mean,
Web Gem.
You could call Triolo quite the Gateman killer over his season series.
Jaron Duran, he takes strike 1. Don Sneddon talked about the series win versus Falmouth. He said everyone is coming together right now, having a great time playing together, and it's nice to win a series. A 1 pitch from Bees, up and away.
Well, I mean, the last time the Gatemen won a series, Don Sneddon was coaching in Alaska, so it's we've come such a long way in 5 years. The Gatemen have, and this group, something special.
1-1. Into left, rifled for a base hit. No doubt about it. And Jaron Duran's on for the second time today.
Well, Duran had 3 strikeouts in Game 2 against the Falmouth Commodores. Right now he's 2 for 2 and 2 hits to the opposite field. He sort of golfed that one. It was near his knees. I thought maybe low out of the strike zone. But he liked that pitch. He got exactly what he wanted out of it, and that's to slap it to the opposite field. The next time he comes up, he's going to have to expect a lot of pitches inside.
Joe Durpich takes ball 1 inside. It's funny that Duran hitting the ball hard right now. During batting practice, Sean Callahan was messing around with him. One of the assistant coaches saying that Brett Canine got the best of him in the NCAA tournament. On the ground, through the right side, in for a base hit, Joe Durpich. Duran rounding second, going to third. He'll slide in head first. And runners at the corners for the Wareham Gatemen. The top of the fourth with one out.
Joe Durpich has been hitting ever since he got to Wareham, and he's put a hit or more together every time that he's been in the lineup, dating back to his first game against the Bourne Braves. He's been really incredible since game 44 of the regular season. That's exactly what he needed to do right there. Duran at first had to hesitate, so he was out of the way of the ball. But as soon as he saw that one was slowing down in the thick right field grass, and he committed to going to third base, there was no question he'd be in there safely.
John Topa with a chance here with one out. Duran at third, Joe Durpich at first. Still no score. Up the middle, right back to the pitcher on the hill. They'll go to second for one. Topa will reach on the fielder's choice. B's a nice job of looking back. Duran at third. Durpich retired on the base paths for out number 2.
Yeah, interesting move there by Bees. That he first looks back Duran, and he does an awful long time doing so. He probably could have turned the double play if he had thrown to his shortstop right away, gotten out of the inning. Instead, by the time he got the out at second, Topa was already there at first base.
Kyle Kasser lined out to Richie Palacios in left for out number 1. And he takes strike 1.
Yeah, right now the low part of the strike zone seems a bit fluid, but it's been the same way for both teams. Kasser right now, he just has to put the bat on the ball, get a base hit, score Jaron Duran any way possible.
Zach Susi, the catcher, giving some signs to the infield.
Yeah, they probably suspect Topa's going to take off. I doubt it. The Gatemen haven't done that in many situations since earlier in the season.
Kasser batting from the left side. 0-1. Right back to the pitcher. Bees flips to first as he ran it over. And that will end the inning. The Gatemen can't get any runs on 2 hits. No errors. 2 men left to board. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. Still no score here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Through 3.5 innings here at Dorn Park in Bourne, Massachusetts. The Wareham Gatemen and the Bourne Braves all knotted up at 0. Richie Palacios will lead it off. Fitz Stadler still on the mound. Big righty delivers the first pitch in for strike 1.
Bet you this is the biggest crowd Palacios has ever played in front of. The Hamptons League last summer, he made it to this stage, semifinals.
0-1. Right past the glove of Anchia at first. Palacio will stop as he rounds first. And Chia got on one knee, ready to field it, and it just skipped right over his glove.
Yeah, the problem with the way he got down on a knee is that it wasn't in front of the ball. The ball just skipped away from him. I don't know if he misjudged it or he got down too early. That was, you know, that's just a classic example of what happens if you don't get your body in front of the ball. And Palacios is aboard. Not a great sign.
That'll be ruled an error on Anchia. Now Scott Schreiber, who struck out swinging in the second. They check over on first. Palacios is back safely.
That's the first error of the night, too, and we've seen some sloppy play over the past 5 days from both Gatemen opponents and the Gatemen themselves, trying to keep those errors down.
First pitch at the at-bat, up and away on a fastball. Schreiber batting from the right side. Here comes the 1-0 from Stadler. It's inside.
If you combine the regular season with the postseason, the Braves are on a 4-game win streak dating back to the home and home that Bourne swept in games 43 and 44.
And that first win here at Dorn Park snapped a Bourne 5-game losing streak. 2-0 on the ground through the right side. Now first and second for the Bravos with no outs.
Yeah, good piece of hitting by Schreiber, knowing that Duran, the second baseman, was at double play depth and not going to be in that hole with Anchia holding on the runner. Good piece of hitting, similar to what Joe Durpich did in the top of this frame. Now Stadler in a bit of trouble. There is action in the Gatemen bullpen.
Jamison Hanna, who singled in the second, is up. I do have to say, the walk-up music's a nice touch.
It's different. I mean, we
different.
haven't heard it. I don't know why Bourne decided to break it out now.
Maybe that will start a trend. Stadler looks back. Palacios at second. That would be more work for our guy Larry, if indeed the Gatemen choose to do so.
We'll see.
Tomorrow.
It'll probably be up to Larry.
First pitch taken for strike one. Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. It seems like that lower part of the strike zone really in play.
It's different from pitch to pitch, but you know, both teams will have to deal with it. Rick Emerson behind home plate tonight, very experienced. The Gatemen have seen him plenty times before. So Coach Sneddon, the staff probably knows what to expect.
Yeah, his name has popped up quite a bit on the Gatemen schedule. 0-1 from Stadler. Bunted down the third base line. It rolls foul.
A little lucky there for the Gatemen. That one just goes left of the third base line. And if that one had gotten down into fair territory, you're not even sure that you were going to retire Hanna for the first out of the inning. He's so fast. You take the bunt off now with an 0-2 count. Hanna has to put this ball in play. Will try to move his teammates over.
Palacios at second, Schreiber at first. Hanna at the plate with no outs and no score, bottom of the fourth. 0-2 up and away. Stadler trying to work through this jam right now with no outs. Waiting to get the signs from McIver. Looking back, the runner at second. Here comes the 1-2. Little chopper. McIver will come out, field it down the first base line. Throws to get Hanna. For out number one, the runners will advance. Now it's second and third with one out.
Yeah, that's exactly what a bunt accomplishes. That ball definitely bounced off Hannah's foot. Doesn't seem like anybody on the Gatemen side is complaining. They're just happy to get the out. But the runners do both move in a scoring position. We'll see if the Gatemen elect to bring the middle of the infield in. They're going to.
They do. Taveras, the shortstop, and Duran, the second baseman, in on the edge of the grass in the infield. Jared Triolo, the Gatemen killer, made a nice snag at third to rob Robbie Metz in the fourth. And he swings and misses on the first pitch.
Yeah, Stadler pitching backwards there, goes off speed first. I don't mind that at all, especially against Triolo, who's looking to be aggressive, looking to put the ball in play. With Palacios' speed, you don't exactly need a deep fly ball to score him from third base.
Second and third, one out, the 0-1. Went breaking ball again, but Triolo doesn't chase this time.
And he continues to get signs over there from Harvey Shapiro. I wonder what sort of play is on here. Triolo not exactly the bunting type. And the infield's already in. I don't think that's what it is.
Triolo swinging his bat, waiting for the pitch. 1-1 from Stadler. He's up and in.
Yeah, you want to be careful. I mean, you're not going to go directly at him here, especially with first base unoccupied. And Susie and Witherspoon on deck, who both struck out their first times up. Triolo's not the guy you want to face in this situation. So, yeah, Stadler will and should be careful here.
2-1. Off the edge of the bat, foul down the first baseline. Now the count evens up.
And that's a huge strike. Instead of becoming 3-1, you've now got 2-2. Pitch away from getting a strikeout that you really need. Go off speed twice out of the strike zone. You get those 2 strikes. Maybe go with a high fastball here.
2 on, 1 out, no score, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Stadler's pitch. Down the third baseline, fair. 1 run will score. They will send Schreiber as well. He will score. To second base goes Triolo. 2 RBI double. Bourne up 2-0.
You know, on 2-2, you throw a fastball right over the inner half of the plate at the belt, and Triolo's going to smack that one for a hit every time. And because the third baseman was in, Kyle Cassidy had no shot of getting that one down the line. And, Stadler in his 4th inning of work, he goes 3 scoreless, and, you know, you hate to say it, but how much longer can he go?
Dalton Roach in the bullpen right now for the Gatemen. Zach Susi at the plate. He struck out swinging back in the second. First pitch from Stadler. Nice snag by the first baseman, and Chia runs it over himself down the line for a big out number 2. Triolo advances to third.
That saved another run right there. Bourne just hitting the ball down the lines really effectively. And then when the Gatemen and Kyle Kasser try it, Triolo, the third baseman, snags it. So Bourne dominating the foul lines, interestingly enough. But it's been the difference in the game.
Here comes the spoon, Grant Witherspoon. With a runner on third, a 2-0 lead for Bourne. Swing takes strike 1. Triolo is the runner at third. A 1 in the dirt, blocked by McIver. He has done a fabulous job with balls in the dirt ever since he's transitioned into that catcher's role.
Well, he saved plenty of runs for the Gatemen, and he does right there.
Bourne has gotten 2 runs this inning, looking for more. 1-1. Big swing and miss from Witherspoon.
Shadow's at an interesting spot right now on the pitcher's mound, where most of the mound and most behind it is covered in shade, but only a guy as tall as Stadler would still be getting hit by the sun. He's really squinting when he's coming towards home.
1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner on third. Here comes the pitch. It's low. Count evens up.
Anchia at first, Duran at second, both really affected by the sun right now too. You see them before every pitch, using their gloves to block the sun. Duran has sunglasses, but they're on the top of his head.
Interesting. 2-2. Just inside. Now a full count. Witherspoon batting .391 in 6 games versus the Gatemen, with 2 RBIs and 5 walks. Stadler's 3-2 is low. It bounces before it hits home plate. And runners will be at the corners.
From the University of Louisville, Tyler Fitzgerald.
First walk of the day, but it's to the Bourne's 8 batter. You have Fitzgerald on deck. You cannot lose him. This is the guy you want to pitch to get out of this inning. You just have to make the good pitches.
Tyler Fitzgerald, who singled in the third, now comes to the plate. William McIver will give some signs to his infield. Shortstop Taveras will play more towards now he's heading back towards the regular shortstop position. He was talking to Duran for a moment. Check swing. Pitch was low. It will be ball 1. More chirping behind us. And Harvey Shapiro giving signs to Tyler Fitzgerald. With runners at the corners, 2 outs, a 2-0 lead for Bourne. 1-0 is inside.
Yeah, and falling behind 2-0 after giving up a walk, it's not something that you want to do, especially to the 9-hitter, where this is about one of the only easy outs you're going to get in this lineup. Not an easy out, but someone that you can attack and try to get a ground ball out of. Williams, Lynn coming up next. You have to be careful of those guys.
Big swing and miss from Fitzgerald on a fastball. He was behind it. 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs.
And you just have to be careful that you're not throwing balls right over the plate like that. A little lucky on 2-0 that Fitzgerald was way behind that fastball. That's what happened to Triolo too, but he took it for 2 RBI double.
2-1. To the left side, Taveras at short. Tough throw over to first. It is not in time. Triolo scores. 3-0 Bourne.
Well, a soft hit ground ball moving to the right. Taveras had to backhand that ball. Couldn't make too strong of a throw over to first base. Bounces way ahead of Anchia. And Fitzgerald with plenty of speed to beat it out. That's a tough break. It's a really tough way to give up the 3rd run of this game.
Grant Williams is 0 for 2, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the 3rd, his last time up. And now runners at first and second. Bourne up 3-0. First pitch is outside. Witherspoon's on second. Fitzgerald is the runner at first. 1-0 is taken for strike 1.
Yeah, Stadler has to get himself back in here now. Get a ground ball or a strikeout.
Stadler almost out of the shadows, but still has some sun in his eyes. The rest of his body covered. Double checks the runner. Steps off the mound. Was checking the runner at second base, Witherspoon.
Yeah, at this point, you don't want any more runs to score. The lead becomes insurmountable, but you have to get the out at the plate.
1-1. Chopped onto the netting that protects the Bourne bullpen. Rather, the dugout.
Really nice night for baseball. Turned out to be some sprinkles and some clouds, some awful clouds in the sky earlier in the day. But now just sort of the fluffy, nice ones out there in center field.
What's the scientific name for those?
Sam knows. We'll ask him in his score update.
1-2 pitch from Stadler is low in the dirt, blocked by McIver. We'll see what's going on in the other game. East side.
Just started. They had a 7 o'clock start tonight in Orleans.
Brewster and Orleans. With Brewster upsetting the YD Red Sox. Let that sink in as Stadler steps off for a moment. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here comes the pitch. It's up and away. And Stadler in danger of walking Williams, which would walk the bases loaded. Witherspoon's on second. Fitzgerald is at first. Bourne, 3 runs have crossed this inning. Pitch is fouled straight back to the netting behind home plate.
Yeah, and with 3-2, 2 outs, runners are in motion. So if Williams is able to get himself a hit, or even a gapper, one down the lines, Fitzgerald could possibly score from first. Stadler, he can't be worried about the runners. Got to go right at the batter, have to get strike 3.
He nods after getting his signs from McIver. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Dropped by McIver. He'll throw down to first. It's in time. That'll finally end the inning. The Bourne Braves get 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left aboard. A 3-0 lead for Bourne. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and Smart Go Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and Smart Go Services.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
University, Gatemen Player.
Bourne got 3 runs across in the bottom of the 4th. We're on to the 5th. It's 7-8-9 in the Wareham lineup. Anchia, McIver, Taveras. A different ball game here at Dorn Park. Swing and miss from Anchia to start off his at-bat versus Daniel Bees, who's still on the hill. Through 4 innings, he's let up no earned, 3 hits. 0-1. Chopped down the third baseline. Slow roller. Triolo on the run. Not in time. throw was a bit high. Lynn had to jump up and get it. I believe while Lynn was jumping and she across the plate.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened over there at first base. The throw seemed to be in enough time, but Lynn, you know, he's 6'2", he's not 6'8", and that's where that ball was. Had to get up in the air for it. By the time his foot came down, Anchia was safe. So he had the error to lead off the bottom of the fourth. One of those runs that scored Richie Palacios. Good way to make up for it here would be by scoring.
McIver at the plate. Takes ball one up high. That's the first inning that the Gatemen have had their leadoff runner on.
The Gatemen started the fourth with Robbie Metz, and another great play by Jared Triolo this time. Just can't make the perfect throw. Still good, though.
1-0 to McIver. Right down the middle for strike one.
Yeah, Willie really wants to make an impact in this game, and you can tell. He has behind the plate so far. Framing good pitches, blocking pitches down in the dirt.
1-1. Foul tipped. Got a piece of the home plate umpire, Rick Emerson, as he takes off his mask. McIver hadn't had an RBI since July 29th until Sunday's game against Falmouth.
And it was a good game against Falmouth for him. He drove in the winning run, scored Randy Tavares.
Now in the 8-hole for Wareham. 1-2. They pitched out, and Susi thought about going down to first, but then Chia's back.
And Chia faked a run over to second, and I think he expected McIver to put the ball in play, but that one was way high.
2-2 pitch from Bees. Is outside and low. Nice job from McIver to lay off.
Yeah, slider that started outer half of the plate. McIver hadn't seen one of those in this at-bat. There's that Willie McIver plate discipline that he's shown off.
3-2 pitch is low. McIver walks. 2 on, no outs.
Well, this is exactly what the Gatemen needed right here. You have Anchia over at second now. And it was the exact same slider this time, start in the inner half and low. And McIver recognized that it was that breaking pitch right away, laid off, let it sail below his knees for ball 4. That's a great at-bat. That's exactly what Willie McIver can give you. He is not an 8-hitter. I mean, he has so much talent. But he's adjusted to his new role. And I think the Gatemen and Don Sneddon really appreciate that.
And now I believe the Bourne trainer will take a look at home plate umpire Rick Emerson. He did get the ball tipped off his helmet, or his mask rather.
I think it came off the left shoulder.
Well,
you know, you're right. They are going, dabbing up his face a little bit. You know, just because you have that mask on doesn't mean you're not going to feel any pain. The force of when a mask that's already tight against your face comes up, and it's not just that one part. It's the whole mask affects your face. So good call there. It did hit his face, and that's what he's getting treated for. Maybe a nosebleed.
Yeah, I believe that was it. Yep. Well, he's back. For the playoffs, the Cape League introduces 4 umpires in the field. They usually have 3, with the third base umpire covering the left side of the infield, second and third, but now they have 4.
It's like the major leagues.
Wareham with a great opportunity here, and great opportunity for one of the new guys, Randy Tavares, who struck out on 3 pitches back in the third. There are 2 runners on, no outs. Wareham trailing Bourne 3-0. Tavares bunts it. Third baseman Triolo will throw to first. It's in time. Runners will advance to second and third. Tavares with a sac bunt. And now a quick game update with Sam Corman.
Orleans Firebirds out to a big start against the Brewster Whitecaps at home at Eldridge Park in Orleans. It's now a 1-0 game in the bottom half of the second. In the bottom half of the first, it was a Steven Scott RBI sac fly out to left. That made it a 1-0 lead. Back to you guys for an at-bat with the one and only Stephen Kwan.
Thank you very much, Sam Corman. Kwan will take ball one low. Now McIver's the runner at second, and Chia is the runner at third. Kwan batting from the left side. 1-0 becomes 2-0.
And this is where Kwan can make you pay. He's got a hitter's count coming up, and with runners in scoring position, middle infield's back. Even the first baseman, Lyle Lynn, is not on the grass.
Third baseman in on the grass as well. Time called, and catcher Susi talking to the home plate umpire Rick Emerson for a moment.
He fell over. I'm not sure if Emerson kicked him or something.
Well, he's talking to Emerson.
Yeah.
We'll have to get a replay on that later. 2-0. Inside. Kwan, one pitch away from going down to first on a walk.
Well, if you're going to chirp at the umpire, Zach Susi, you're not going to get the call. I think what happens is Susi sets up, and then he backs up a little bit to reset up, and he just stumbled over Emerson's foot.
3-0. Zips in for strike one. Robbie Metz waiting on deck. Wareham trailing 3-0. 3-1, foul tipped off the catcher's mask. And Susi almost looked like it fell over again for a moment. He was unbalanced.
That's sort of his stance.
Yeah.
when he doesn't really have to worry about where the runners are going.
Runners at second and third with one out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count. Here comes the pitch to Kwan. Outside for ball 4. And the Wareham faithful loving it right now.
Bases loaded for Robbie Metz. This is a really big situation. And that one looked like it was looked like it was missing the whole way, and then suddenly a whole ton of break on a curveball made it really close. Every fan screaming here, dependent on what side you were on. Some thinking it was strike 3 for Bourne, others thinking it was ball 4, and it ended up being ball 4.
Jordan Tabachman, the pitching coach for Bourne, is out on the hill right now in his 3rd season with the Bravos. Don't believe they're making a pitching change. Quick mound visit.
Play some Springsteen anyway.
Of course. Especially here in Massachusetts.
Did not know he was a Massachusetts legend. But no, now I've totally come to understand.
It goes,
that was
probably it goes Brady, then Springsteen.
Okay.
Or vice versa, whatever you
want. I
want.
knew Springsteen was big in Jersey, but way bigger here. He's king of Mass.
King of Mass.
Prince.
Robbie Metz. Swings and misses on the first pitch. Could also throw in Steven Tyler there real quick for Mass.
Oh, really?
He's a Massachusetts native.
Did not know that.
PJ Poulin in the bullpen for Bourne.
Maybe a UConn showdown coming up with John Topa up in a bit.
0-1 is low. In the dirt, blocked by Susi. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out. Bases loaded. Bourne up 3-0.
I don't think Bees has lost command. I think he's trying to get more swings and misses outside of the strike zone from the Gatemen.
1-1. Metz out in front on a breaking ball, and he's down 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And he hasn't seen a fastball yet in this count, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bees went with that somewhere in the strike zone, try to blow it by him. He's got to be prepared for anything, and when you get down in the count, that's what Bees can do.
1-2. Fastball on the outside part. Metz does not agree. He sits down with a strikeout, 2 gone.
Well, that was the most emotion I've seen Mets show this entire season. Just dumbfounded that that was called a strike. I don't know where he thought it missed, maybe on the outer half, but it looked good from here. Now it's up to Duran,
who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Both hit hard. Bees on the hill, trying to work through this 5th inning. Breaking ball missing outside, 1-0.
And the 2 strikes that Mets swung at. Uh-oh.
And now Rick Emerson's talking to Don Snedden down the first base line. Don Snedden saying he didn't say anything, and now a warning will be given. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Coach Snedden getting a warning.
It's playoff baseball. Gets a little chippy here and there.
Yeah, I mean, even when Robbie Metz is upset with the call, he doesn't say anything to the umpire. He still shows respect at all times. So I'm surprised that this is the turn of events we're seeing.
Base is still loaded with 2 outs. Pitch to Duran, up and away, 2 balls and no strikes.
Duran at a big advantage right now. If he sees the pitch he wants, it's probably what he's looking for is probably something on the outer half, around thigh or knee level that he can golf out to left field.
2-0 from Bees. Becomes 3-0 with the bases loaded. And I said before, he's tied 9th in the league in walks this season. Was good at going down to first with 20 walks. And Shia on third, McIver on second, Kwan on first. 3-0 pitch from Bees. Is ball 4. Bees will walk in a run, and the Gatemen are on the board.
3 walks in this inning, how about that? And a guy who is not looking to walk right now, a guy who is looking to blast this one 500 feet, Joe Durpich.
Harvey Shapiro making his way out to the mound. The Bourne manager, will he make a change? The infield will come in. Joe Durpich at the plate. They will make a pitching change. Daniel B's night is done. He walks in the first run of the day for the Wareham Gatemen. We'll take a break. It is Bourne 3, Wareham 1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
We'll send it back out to Jacob Toby and Connor Federico in a second with the game action, but first, a score update between Brewster and Orleans. The Firebirds add 2 more in the bottom half of the second, first off of a Cesar Salazar RBI double, scoring Lars Newtbar, and then later in the inning, Nico Decolatis drives in Cesar Salazar, unearned run there off an E5 to the Brewster third baseman. Back to you guys for the game action. Bases loaded for the big guy, Joe Durpich.
Thank you very much, Sam Corman. Daniel B's night is done. PJ Poulin is your new pitcher. 3 walks in the 5th for Daniel B's.
And the outs he got was a sac bunt by Tavares and then a strikeout in which Robbie Metz, if he had just kept the bat on his shoulder, the strike 3 probably would have moved the count to 3-1. I mean, he swung at some pitches outside the strike zone. So B is, I thought maybe he was just trying to throw some pitches outside the strike zone, trying to fool Gatemen hitters, and they got the best of him. No, I think he just sort of lost it in that inning. He had no walks through the first 4 and then throws 3. The Gatemen have now cut into this lead, and with one swing of the bat, this game could change very drastically.
From University of Connecticut,
4.2 innings, 1 earned, 4 hits, 4 Ks, 3 walks. Here comes Joe Durpich.
And as if this atmosphere hasn't been electric enough tonight, it's about to get wild for a bases-loaded at-bat with Joe Durpich at the plate. And Durpich has done nothing but hit balls really hard.
Lefty versus lefty. PJ Poulin out of UConn, 6 feet, 185 pounds, facing Joe Durpich. First pitch, a big swing and miss on a fastball. He was going long ball all the way.
Oh my goodness. Well, he was just 1/10 or 2 of a second off from making contact with that one.
Bases loaded, 0-1 pitch. Is inside.
Tries to go front door there. Looked like a cutter or slider or something that just never came back in. Good eye by Durpich.
McIver on third, Quan at second, Duran at first. 2 outs, 3-1 ball game in favor of Bourne. 1-1 to Durpich. He's outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
By initially, moving on that one and then holding the bat up, it shows that he's looking for fastball. And with the 2-1 count, he can continue to. Power on power right now.
Poulin sets. He deals the 2-1. On the ground to the right side to the second baseman Williams. Throws to first. And that will end the inning. Wareham gets 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left to board. It is Bourne 3, Wareham 1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community. Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Gatemen Baseball Network score update from not across the canal because we're already across the canal, I guess, but across the Cape all the way out to Orleans, where the Brewster Whitecaps have started to crawl their way back on their first hit of the game coming in the 3rd inning. Hunter Bishop hits a solo shot to lead off that top half of the 3rd. Right now, mid-3rd, Orleans holding a 3-1 lead over the Whitecaps, although Orleans out-hitting Brewster 7-1. Back to Jacob and Connor, who are about to see a new pitcher on the mound for the Wareham Gatemen.
Yes, sir, we are. Hello, Dalton Roach.
Good to see ya.
Good to see ya. Fitzstadler, 4 innings, 3 runs, 1 of them earned. 5 hits, 5 Ks, 1 walk. Dalton Roach comes in. 6'2", 205 pounds, Minnesota State. His 10th appearance, 1-1 with a 5.23 ERA.
Had a tremendous season back at school, mostly as a starter. Plenty of complete games, plenty of shutouts. The Division II Pitcher of the Year. Here he is. And he's had great success and also some low lows out on the mound for the Gatemen this summer. Right now, the Gatemen want the best performance they've seen out of him right now. He comes in for the 5th inning, and who knows how much longer. They need him.
Lyle Lynn, he's 0 for 2. Pulls back his bunt on the first pitch, takes ball 1. Roach coming full delivery.
Lynn, the only guy that didn't bat in the 4th. And how interesting is it? Both semifinal games are at 3-1 right now.
It's crazy. 1-0. Popped up foul. McIver behind home plate. Makes the catch for out number 1. And he overthrows Kasser. And then he gives a Bryce Harper hair flip after that. Oh my.
Laughs it off. I mean, those things happen. It's baseball. You know, you throw it out, you throw it around the infield to keep it fresh. But I was going to say I was very impressed with McIver keeping it calm right there behind the plate. Never seen him botch one of those. He reads backspin off the ball very well and didn't have to move too far to make that catch.
Throws in the hair flip. Palacios will bat from the left side. He takes ball 1, up and away. A low-scoring affair here at Dorn Park, a 3-1 ball game. Bravos over the G-men.
They're only the G-men when we come here.
They are. But I've brought, as the pitch was in for a strike, I've brought that pitch, I brought that name rather, around. But I've tried to at least.
Yeah, I wish you wouldn't.
1-1. Big swing and miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Why is that?
I mean, the G-men are the New York Giants. I'm not a big Giants guy. I don't think anybody here in Massachusetts is. I bet that's why they put it up on the scoreboard.
1-2 from Roach. A big sweeping breaking ball for strike 3, and McIver just tags him plainly with the ball, running down the first base line for out number 2.
Good consecutive pitches right there. You go breaking pitch in the dirt for strike 2 and strike 3. It works really well.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Scott Schreiber, 1 for 2. He struck out swinging in the 2nd, singled and scored in the 4th. First pitch is taken for a strike on the fastball. Wareham has won 7 CCBL titles. Last one, of course, coming in 2012 versus the Whitey Red Sox. The 0-1, just missing. And they've been in the championship game 12 times, a .583 winning percentage. When they're in the finals, they win. Fastball blown right by Schreiber. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We got to get there first. And of the 6 playoff matchups between Wareham and Bourne, there was only 1 that came in the Western Finals. The other 5 came in the first round of the playoffs. The Gatemen did win against these Bourne Braves.
1-2 outside.
I believe that was 2012 also.
That sounds about right. 2015 and 16 were Bourne sweeps of Wareham in the playoffs. 2-2 from Roach. Chopped foul in the box.
It was 2012, and Wareham was the lower seed. And that was the last time the Gatemen had beaten the Bourne Braves in the playoffs. 2012 in the second round, 2011, 2010, and 2001.
2-2 from Roach. is low on a breaking ball. Count runs full. 11 miles separates the two fields, Spillane and Doran Park.
And this is a year-round rivalry, not just with the Gatemen and the Braves, but high school sports.
Especially football. 3-2 is set foul.
Yeah, you taught me about the Thanksgiving football game played between these two.
Really fun to go to. Still can't believe Long Island does not have Thanksgiving football.
I think football season's over by that time.
It is. They wait 2 weeks to play that game.
That's awful.
That's neither here nor there. 3-2 pitch. Blown right by him. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the inning for Dalton Roach. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. The Bourne Braves go 1-2-3. And we're headed to the 6th. It's Bourne 3, Wareham 1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Top of the 6th. Bourne up on Wareham 3-1. And off the air, Connor grabbed my attention. It is UConn at the plate, UConn on the mound, UConn behind the plate.
The Huskies. Big matchup here. Topa's already had Poulin's number earlier in the season.
Takes inside from one of the Huskies. 1-0. Topa at the plate. Susi behind the plate. And PJ Poulin on the hill, all teammates at the University of Connecticut. 1-0 from Poulin. Missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Our Sam Corman loves the UConn guys. He didn't grow up too far from Storrs, Connecticut, despite going to school in Missouri, Columbia, Missouri.
2-0 pitch from Poulin is inside. 3 balls and no strikes.
Bet John Topa's a little upset that Poulin isn't even making this at-bat any fun right now for him. Poulin pitched on that July 5th game where the Gatemen just destroyed Bourne.
3-0 from Poulin. Taken for strike 1.
Yeah, Poulin is sort of the lefty specialist. That's why he was brought in at the end of the inning to face Joe Durpich and got that big out with the bases loaded in the 5th. But now against the righties, he's got a test. Even Kyle Kasser on deck can hit lefties pretty well.
The 3-1 pitch from Poulin. Big swing and miss from Topa. And the count is full. It is Topa, Kasser, and Anchia in the 6th for the Wareham Gatemen, as they trail Bourne 3-1. Lone run coming on a walk given up by Daniel Bees with the bases loaded back in the 5th. Poulin decides on a pitch. Winds, kicks, and deals. The 3-2. And it's set foul off to the right.
Well, this is a good at-bat right now by John Topa. Even though he gets a 3-2 count after being up 3-0, continues to foul off some pitches, making it close, making Poulin work. Give your teammate Kyle Kasser an opportunity with a runner on base or a bit of a fatigued pitcher.
Kyle Kasser waiting on deck. 3-2 pitch from Poulin. Up and away, and Topa's on with a leadoff walk. Second straight inning, the Gatemen have had a leadoff base runner.
And the last time was back in the 5th inning where the leadoff base runner eventually scored in Jake Anchia. Topa and Kasser were the only guys who didn't get to hit in that big inning for the Gatemen. Battle of 13s in blue coming up here.
You notice these things.
I love numbers.
That's great.
I can't add or subtract them very well, but I like them as they are.
Runner on first is Topa. First pitch by Kasser, taken for strike one.
In the big bulk of the lineup all year for the Gatemen, you had some form of 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 when Tristan Pompey was here, but now Joe Durpich, 36, ruins that.
Poulin, quick breath, looks over at first, the 0-1. In for strike two. Kasser down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Poulin's head almost looking at first base the entire way. Doesn't allow John Topa to get any sort of secondary lead. You freeze him over there, and then you deliver a really nice pitch to Kasser. Up 0-2, you have a lot of options.
No balls and 2 strikes. Kasser 0 for 2 in this game. Here comes the throw over to first. Topa back safely.
And it's really similar to Poulin's regular delivery, his pickoff move. So you have to be careful. The Gatemen, for the most part, have cleaned up their base running mistakes they were making towards the last third of the regular season.
0-2 is rifled foul off to the left down the third base line. Good thing there's the netting.
The netting extends very far here, I just realized, at Doran Park.
And I think that's the way it should be.
Well, you got the snack shack over there.
You got to protect the snack shack.
You're going to have so many people with their heads turned away from home plate. So good on Doran Park. But, you know, one of the newer parks in the league, only opened in 07.
0-2 pitch from Poulin. In the infield to the shortstop. Flip to second for one. On to first. The throw is way off to the left of the bag. Kasser will reach. Topa retired on the base paths. And there's one out in the inning. Kasser, the runner at first.
Tough turn there for the second baseman, Williams. You have to get that ball out right away if you have a shot getting Kasser out. That ball almost went into the dugout. Lucky that Kasser wasn't able to take an extra base. But having a runner on for Jake Anchia is a good thing.
One out, a 3-1 lead for Bourne. Runner on first is Kyle Kasser. First pitch to Anchia. Taken for strike one. So we're in the top of the 6th here at Doran Park. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico, and Claudia Chikamian bringing you this game. A 1 is low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Kyle Kasser has the scoreboard on his back. Gatemen 1, Bourne 3.
Another thing that you notice, those little things. They'll go over to first. Kasser's back safely. Man, that pickoff attempt is so similar to his delivery. P.J. Poulin.
Yeah, good thing Kasser noticed those little things, because I thought Poulin was coming home to the plate. Nice pink and blue sky here at Bourne now. The clouds that are left out there made a nice cotton candy.
1-1. And Shia down the right field line, still in the air, coming over. Is the right fielder Witherspoon. It goes out of play. And Shia, this season, hit .063 against the Bravos.
Yeah, but he's been one of your hottest hitters as of late, so you have to almost throw that out and just hope that the better of two trends will prevail.
Well, he is 1 for 2 with a run scored in this game. One ball and 2 strikes. Poulin from the stretch. Looks back the runner at first and will throw over again. Kasser back safely.
It almost seems like when Poulin faces the plate, more often he's going to go over to first and vice versa. When he's looking over at first, he's really just trying to freeze the runner and then goes to the plate. He's well coached to develop a pickoff move like that.
1-2. Foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. And Chia strikes out for the second time tonight. And he whispers something to Willie McIver as they walk past each other. And Chia headed back to the dugout for out number 2.
And Chia always trying to help out his teammates, telling them anything he's learned throughout the course of an at-bat or the course of, knowing a certain pitcher from seeing more at-bats against him. I mean, a lot of these Gatemen come from bigger Division I schools. And if you get a lower-level pitcher, I mean, this is not a case right here with P.J. Poulin, but you have a better shot that Jake Anchi is going to know something about him, and he's always willing to pass over information.
Another pickoff attempt on Kasser, but he's back safely. That might be the best pickoff attempt we've seen all season long.
Well, what's interesting is that way worse pickoff attempts have gotten the Gatemen out before.
Great point. McIver at the plate. Takes strike 1 on the first pitch.
And it really freezes Kasser over there. He has no form of secondary lead whatsoever. You need a string of hits. One swing of the bat by McIver is probably not going to change the complexion of this game right now.
Check over again on Kasser. Really keeping him close. Two outs, Bourne up 3-1 here in the 6th. The 0-1 from Poulin. McIver to left. It is in for a base hit. Now it's first and second with 2 outs.
Yeah, but now you need Tavares to come through in the clutch, and he does not have a hit this postseason. So you're relying on him right now in a critical spot with the 9 part of your order, where 5, 6, 7, 8 has been your reliable part of the lineup. But a righty on lefty matchup certainly helps and is in favor of the Gatemen. The righties have done well this inning. A walk and a base hit for McIver.
Poulin's first pitch to Tavares. Chopped foul on inside the box.
Yeah, Tavares tried to kill that ball, and he just got the bottom part of the barrel on it.
Home plate umpire Rick Emerson saying that he needs more baseballs. Kasser's at second, McIver's at first. 2 outs. Bourne up 3-1. 0-1. Just missing a bit high on a fastball. Tavares laid down the sac bunt in the 5th, which helped bring home Jake Anchia. Poulin looks back. The runner at second. 1-1 pitch. Inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Stephen Kwan is on deck. And the temperature has dropped here at Dorn Park a bit. Two-one. In for strike 2.
Yeah, PJ Poulin from UConn and Tavares from Marist. I guarantee you, neither one of them are going to complain about this weather right now. You know, we've heard stories from Topa and Fioli about how they had to play a couple games in pretty awful conditions. March.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Poulin's pitch. Inside. Turning away with Tavares. Count runs full.
I don't know where Susie thought he was framing that one. It looked a couple inches inside. Now the runners are in motion, and Poulin's pickoff move isn't going to help him now. Nobody's holding on McIver over there at first. Got to make a good pitch to end this inning.
Big pitch here coming up for PJ Poulin against Randy Tavares. Looks back, the runner at second. Steps off the mound.
Yeah, that's a sign of a pitcher who might not have the confidence to deliver strike 3. And, you know, every pitcher knows the runners are going there. But it's up to him.
So 2 runners on, 2 outs. Bourne up by 2 runs, 3-1. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Poulin's pitch, runners go. And Tavares just gets a piece of it. And I mean just.
Yeah, and Zach Susie almost caught that too. I mean, slightest of margins. That's baseball.
Wareham fans clapping on Tavares. Runners on first and second. Here comes the pitch. Chopped to the second baseman, Williams. He'll throw on the run over to first in time. That'll end the inning. So the Gatemen score no runs on 1 hit, no errors. They lead 2 on. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. It's Bourne 3, Wareham 1 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
back at Dorn Park
Center fielder, number 12,
here in
from
Bourne,
Northwest
Massachusetts.
Jameson Hanna.
Jacob Toby, Connor Federico, bottom of the 6th, the 3-1 lead for Bourne. I do have to say the French fries here are elite.
They're the best in the league, no question.
A couple of the interns, a couple of our friends handing me some during the break. Couldn't say no.
I wasn't offered.
You didn't ask me. Jamison Hanna at the plate. He takes strike 1 from Dalton Roach, who looked very good in the 5th inning. Retired the 3 batters he faced and had a couple strikeouts.
Yeah, wanting to repeat that success right now.
Against Jamison Hanna, who was 1 for 2 with a single. The 0-1 is just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
The guy you need to be scared of, Jared Triolo's on deck.
Who's continued the trend of being the Gateman killer.
Dun, dun, dun.
1-1 from Roach. Hanna pops it up behind home plate. McIver giving chase. It will hit the top of the press box. Not the Johnny 12 press box, of course.
No.
That's Spillane.
Well, if we were in the Wild press box, probably would have heard a loud booming echo through our microphones.
Rumors that there will be some changes to the press box.
No, stop.
Next season. Adding a 2nd floor was talked about.
What? I don't know why. The thing's perfect as it is.
That's just the talk around the town.
Uh-oh.
A 1-2 from Roach. Breaking ball breaks before the plate and bounces in the dirt.
Well, I know scouts have expressed that they wish there was a little more room behind the press box and the backstop.
Well, I don't think they can do much about that. They want to move the whole base.
Move the fences up.
I guess. 2-2. Out to center. Quan will make the catch. I may be wrong, but is that the first play he's had out there tonight?
I was just about to say he has not been busy out there tonight, and he usually is.
Yeah.
So puts that one away pretty easily.
Here comes the Gateman killer, Jared Triolo. 2 RBI double in the 4th, a run scored. He's been on twice. He was also hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Again, the highest batting average of any Bourne Brave versus the Gatemen in the regular season, .438. Roach's first pitch is low for ball 1, and he also made a fantastic defensive play robbing Mr. Robbie Metz in the 4th.
That was the same inning that Duran and Jerpich had consecutive singles, too. So if Metz was on base, it's a different ball game.
1-0. Outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
Wareham in the 4th, 5th, and 6th have left a total of 7 runners on, and they've been doing a good job getting on base with walks or hits, but getting them around has been the struggle tonight.
2-0 from Roach. Right down the middle for strike 1.
Yeah, 2-0. You do not want to fall behind to a guy like Triolo. Interesting, he held up, just took that pitch down the center of the zone.
Agrees on a pitch. 2-1. Same spot, same result. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Bourne up 3-1.
Infield as far back as possible, respecting the power of Triolo.
The 2-2 pitch from Roach. Breaking ball on the outside, part of the plate, called strike 3. Can I help you, sir? No thanks, just looking.
Well, that was a pitch Triolo had not seen in that at-bat. And Roach just pulls a string right there. And that pitch started over the heart of the plate where the other 2 fastballs were called. And then this time it just fades out to the outside corner. Triolo frozen. All he can do is watch as Rick Emerson rings him up on the outside corner.
That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. Zach Susi to the plate with 2 outs. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And he takes ball 1. It's been 2 innings, the 4th and the 5th. Those were the runs were scored. After that, zeros put up by both squads. Roach's 1-0 is inside.
Which is the opposite problem that the Gatemen were having. With the exception of the other Sunday's game against Falmouth, the Gatemen in their last 3 games of the season, that big losing streak, plus game 1 against Falmouth, they just little scoring throughout many innings led to big run totals.
2-0, swung on and missed by Susi. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And today it's just been the one big inning. Started off with an error by Chia that got Palacios aboard, then a single, then a double, a walk, and another single, and before you know it, 3 runs for Bourne.
2-1 pitch. Popped up, foul territory down the left field line. Kasser will not be able to get it as it bounces right near the snack shack. Watch out, right near the 50-50 table.
Yeah, that ball bounced and then came back up, and I think there's a gutter. No, there's no gutter there, but where the roof sort of over.
The framing.
Yeah, where the roof goes right over the rest of the building.
The window's open right there. I almost thought it went in the window.
Netting can't protect against pop-ups.
No. Here comes Roach's 2-2 pitch. It's inside, and the count runs full. Wareham next inning. Top of the order, Kwan, Metz, and Duran. 3-2 pitch is called strike 3. 4th strikeout for Dalton Roach. That one ends the inning. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Buller. The Bravos go 1-2-3 for the 2nd straight inning, but they still lead this one 3-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
Leading off for the Gatemen, the center fielder, number 51.
Top of the 7th at Dorn Park, site of the 2017 Western Division Finals, part of the 2017 Cape League Playoffs. Here on the Gatemen Baseball Network, Jacob Toby and Connor Federico bringing you the action. Top of the order for the Gatemen, it's Kwan, Metz, and Duran to face PJ Poulin.
Poulin's been good so far. Came in a tricky situation, bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th. Got the out, worked himself some trouble in the 6th, got out of it.
Kwan pulls back the bunt and takes strike 1. And don't know if he thought that was a strike.
I don't know if Rick Emerson, the home plate umpire, thought so either. He did like a little, it seemed like with his body language, he was asking himself if he wanted to call it a strike and then just went ahead and did it.
Quan is 0 for 2 with a walk. The 0-1 is outside. Man, is this place packed tonight. The atmosphere has been fun. Gatemen trailing 3-1. And Quan swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, with Quan, Duran, and Durpich, the 3 of the first 4 hitters in the order, keep pulling out here, the lefty right now, to keep working through these guys.
1-2 pitch from Poulin. Quan doesn't chase the high fastball.
Robbie Metz is going to be the big barometer of success in this inning. If he can get himself on, the lone righty, to lead off this inning, he would be a good help.
2-2. Outside. A lot of full counts tonight, it seems.
At the end of this game, we'll look back. It'll go 3.5, 4 hours, and we'll be like, where did all the time go? And the answer will be in the full counts and then the foul balls after them.
Full count. Here comes the pitch to Quan. He fouls it off. Funny you mentioned the pace of play. 2:59 was the game time last time these two teams played. A 12-5 win for Bourne on August 3rd. But record attendance at Spillane Field, 1,209.
It's record attendance?
That was before the playoff game.
Oh.
This one swung and hit foul as well on the top of the school.
So for this season, that's record attendance. Okay.
Not counting the playoffs.
Oh, you're talking about a regular season game. Oh, okay. My apologies.
Three-two pitch to Quan. Sends it to left field on a line. Palacios skips over 2 steps to make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, hit that one really hard, but it just never had the top spin to fall in front of Palacios. Instead, it just stayed in the air, and Richie able to snag it. So now with Robbie Metz up, who's 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts, has been chasing some pitches out of the zone and has fallen behind in counts.
Struck out looking his last time up, and he takes strike 1. After he struck out, that was the conversation that Rick Emerson, the home plate umpire and head coach slash first base coach Don Snedden had. 0-1 from Poulin. Cut on a missed, and Metz down to his last strike.
Yeah, Poulin pitching backwards in this at-bat. Slider on first pitch. An 0-1 fastball right over the heart.
0-2. Up and away. Poulin full delivery. The 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Gatemen are running out of outs. You're only down to 8. You have to score 2 runs if you want to come back in this game. It'll be a tough task.
They trail 3-1. 2-2 pitch. Metz sends it down the right field line. Foul.
My heart always skips a beat when I see a ball go down the right field line.
I agree. I have to agree on that.
You never know how that pole is going to affect this game, and we didn't see it at all during the regular season, but we've seen some things out of this Gatemen team in the postseason that we didn't throughout the regular season.
2-2. Metz fouls it right off of Susie's helmet. The mask. And also it jets out to 360 pretty quickly.
I believe it's 380 in right field in Fenway, like where the bullpen is. Yeah, I'm getting the head nods. That pole, man, it's something else.
They should come up with a name, not the pesky pole, but something else. 2-2. Metz fouls it off, and he stays alive.
Well, right now it's just like the pesky pole. It's not. Nobody's calling it that. It's hard to describe it any way else that people at home would know what it is.
Come to Dorn Park and find out.
Or listen to us. Thank you for listening.
Pullen will step off the hill. Game 2 tomorrow at Spillane Field, 6:30 first pitch. Catch the stream. 2-2 from Pullen. Hit on the ground to the shortstop. They'll throw over to first. A high throw, and Metz is safe. Caught by the first baseman Lynn, but that's the second time that while he's in the air, a base runner steps on the bag and reaches safely.
Tough break for Lyle Lynn again. The first baseman, he had no choice but to jump for that one. He might have a case that he got back on the bag before Metz crossed first base, but this time, and just like the last time, he's ruled safe. Pretty sure that'll be an E6. The Gatemen have to take advantage of the mistakes, the rare mistakes that the Braves make. That's only the first error tonight.
Jaron Duran, 2 for 2, 2 singles and a walk. Goes for the bunt. Called strike 1.
Guy who hasn't been retired today has done a really good job of hitting the ball, and then when the pitcher's scared of him, seeing it on the away from the strike zone, working himself a walk with the bases loaded his last time up.
Metz is the runner at first with 1 out. Wareham trailing Bourne 3-1. Duran at the plate, Pullen on the hill. The 0-1 is outside.
You know, the Bourne Braves scored back in the 4th on the only error that the Gatemen have committed in this game. You have to pay back right now. You have to get that run back if you want to stay competitive in this contest.
Pullen looks back the runner at first. 1-1. Sweeping breaking ball. Whiffed at and missed. 1-2.
Yeah, and out of the strike zone, too. That's not very Jaron Duran-like. Being pretty aggressive in this situation, that's fine. But now with 2 strikes, got to put the bat on anything close.
One ball and 2 strikes with 1 out and a runner on first. 1-2. Ball outside, the runner goes down. The throw, not in time. And Metz steals second base.
Ball 2. I mean, Susie pegged that one right into the ground about 6 or 8 feet in front of second base.
Oh, my Lord. I cannot believe what just happened. Zach Susie goes to turn and throw the ball over to the Bat Boys. Rick Emerson, the home plate umpire, standing right there, and it hits him in the gut. Wow. And they're chatting about it, and Rick Emerson pats him on the chest. You got to walk that off.
What?
I've never seen that.
Yeah, Robbie Metz just got pegged with a baseball over there at second, too, but nobody's checking on him to make sure he's all right.
I mean, different circumstance,
Show
sir.
some grit, Rick Emerson.
Oh, wow. Calling out Rick Emerson.
I didn't see it, I'll be honest with you.
It was interesting, to say the least. Runner on second, 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Duran swings and misses for out number 2. And he's retired for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Duran has done such a good job in this ball game, but can't come through right there. Now you still have Joe Durpich up. He represents the tying run.
But he is facing the lefty Poulin on the hill. Looks back the runner at second. First pitch is fouled straight back.
I wonder if Derpich learned anything important from the last time that these two faced off back in the 5th inning. Still a pressure situation. I mean, with only so many outs left in game 1 of a 3-game set, every pitch is a pressure situation at this point, especially with runners in scoring position.
Poulin steps off the mound. Will reset. Got Robbie Metz at second after he stole the bag just a moment ago. Looks back twice. The 0-1 is sent to left. Coming in is Palacios. It will drop. Metz will round third and head home. He'll score. Wareham now just trails by a run, 3-2.
It's almost like you expected Joe Derpich to bring in an RBI base hit, but you didn't expect it like that. Little blooper out to left field, and I think Palacios, the left fielder, was back. And now that Poulin has lost this lefty-lefty matchup, maybe Harvey Shapiro has seen enough of him.
Shapiro out on the mound right now. And he'll take the ball. That will do it for P.J. Poulin's outing. Wareham gets 1 run here in the 7th. They trail it 3-2. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like the balsamic grilled chicken or New England fried shrimp. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
Back here at Doran Park, pitching change has been made, but first let's send it to a quick game break score update from our Sam Corman. What do you got?
Well, I don't got much. I mean, Orleans and Brewster, it's still a 3-1 game. All I have to say is that Brewster only has 3 hits at the end of the 6th inning, and 2 of them off the bat of Hunter Bishop, so they're not getting much on offense. However, that game is in the top of the 7th. That game started 1 hour later than this game, and it's also in the top of the 7th here.
Thank you, Sam. As a pitching change has been made, Kyle Marmon is your new pitcher. 6'3", 225 pounds, throws from the right side. Out of Florida Atlantic, he'll face John Topa. And he lets one fly in for strike 1.
So Bees and Poulin both end up exiting the ball game with 2 outs in their respective innings.
0-1 to Topa. Swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first, who's Joe Durpich, and 2 outs.
You're not going to score Joe Durpich from first, probably, so you need a string of hits. Even if Topa's retired here, you're not too upset about coming up with Kasser, Anchia, McIver in the 8th.
0-2. And Topa gets a piece of it. Nicks it foul.
I have to admire the constant hustle and grit of the Bat Boys. Even in blowouts or even in the tightest of games, they are on their game 100% all the time.
0-2 pitch. Topa fouls it off behind the press box. Martman this season, 0-2 with a 3.98 ERA. This is his 11th appearance. 0-2 to Topa, just outside. That pitch was close.
Some of the Bourne Braves are running back into the dugout. Yeah. Not yet.
Durpich, the runner at first, 2 outs. Bourne up 3-2. 1-2 to Topa. It is call strike 3. They can run now. They head back to the dugout. As Topa will strike out looking to end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We are off to the 7th inning stretch, presented by Eastern Propane and Oil, proud to sponsor the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Back at Dorn Park, Wareham got 1 run in the top of the 7th. It's Bourne's turn to try and counter in the bottom of the 7th. 8-9-1 to face Dalton Roach, Jacob Toby, Connor Federico here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. A lovely Tuesday evening at Dorn Park.
Certainly turned into one.
Grant Witherspoon to start it off. Versus Roach. And he takes strike one. It is Witherspoon, Fitzgerald, and Williams in this inning. A 1. And he holds up. The Spoon doesn't go around. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's actually the pitcher, Daniel Bees, the starter today, who started bringing the nickname Spoon here to the Cape. 1-1. It is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Well, it was a long established back at school for him, right?
Yes, it was. He found out somehow. And then he brought it here to Bourne. 2-1 from Roach is fouled straight back. Ricochets off the brick wall that is behind home plate.
Wrigley-esque.
I was just about to say Wrigley Field.
Where else have we said that?
Chatham.
Chatham, right. I don't remember much about Chatham.
You only were there once.
And the fog covered so much of everything, you barely see anything.
When doesn't it cover something there? 2-2. Right to Anchia at first. Will flip to Roach. And in time for out number 1.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but Anchia got his body in front of it this time. Made sure that it wasn't going to get past him. Sort of brought his whole body up, and lucky that his glove just blocked it. And on the 2-2 battle, to number 22, Grant Witherspoon. Dalton Roach is the victor.
Tyler Fitzgerald at the plate, batting from the right side, will take ball 1. Quietly 2 for 2 with an RBI.
Yeah, the 9 spot, like Hunter Steinmetz of Falmouth, wreaking havoc there at the bottom of the order where he doesn't belong, at least not tonight.
1-0. Fitzgerald takes strike 1. What do the Gatemen need to do to tie this game up and take the lead?
I don't think you're changing anything right now. Dalton Roach has been great, and you have 1 spot in the 5th and the 7th, and if that trend continues, the Gatemen will get 1 back in the 9th.
1-1 to Fitzgerald, lifted out to right field. Metz going over, and he can't make the catch, but it's a foul ball.
Lucky it's a foul ball. I thought that one was pretty close. Turned out not to be. Metz didn't get a great jump on that ball at first, and he has played some outfield this season, played some outfield last season, but not since Ding Kong and the whole Danbury crew got here.
Tough ball to play out there in foul territory down the right field line. Dalton Roach has been spectacular. 4 strikeouts through 2 innings. Retired 7 up, 7 down. One-two to Fitzgerald. He struck him out. 8 up, 8 down. 5th K of the night for Roach.
And the only guy he hasn't seen today, Grant Williams, has struck out twice in this ball game already. Why not keep it going for Roach? He has been masterful. This has by far been his best outing of the season for the Gatemen. Not that he hasn't had other good ones, but in a playoff situation, in a situation where you need to keep the run total where it is to give your offense life in this game, give them a chance. He's doing his job.
Williams will take strike 1. That previous strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. 5 for Roach and 5 for Stadler. Another double-digit strikeout game for the Wareham pitchers. This one lifted out to left. John Topa under it to make the catch and end the inning. For the 3rd straight time, the Bourne Braves go 1-2-3 thanks to Dalton Roach. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left aboard. Kasser, Anchia, and McIver in the top of the 8th. We'll take a break. 3-2, Bourne up on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
Eighth inning at Dorn Park. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico bringing you Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Kyle Kasser, Jake Anchia, Willie McIver to face Kyle Marmon, the Marminator.
Hard to believe this is the 48th presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. This is the 47th Cape League game. Don't forget New Bedford.
Was that counting New Bedford?
It is.
First pitch outside to Kasser, 1-0.
If we get a game 3 in this series, we'll hit 50.
That'll be 50-plus games for these players, adding on to their college seasons. 1-0 slap foul off to the left and out of play. It's a lot of baseball.
Yet it's only less than a third of a professional season. So many of these guys are hoping and are certainly capable of moving on to the next level.
1-1. Way outside and up. 2 balls and 1 strike. A lot of talent on this team. 7 All-Stars. Most in the Western Division out of any team.
Got one at the plate right now. Home run hitting contest on deck.
2-1. Up high. 3 balls and 1 strike. Kasser and then Anchia. The narrative was Wareham has the most All-Stars in the Western Division. Where was the record? That's what a lot of people were talking about throughout the season. And that's sort of changed here in the playoffs. 3-1 is outside, ball 4. And Susi couldn't handle it, and now Kasser will round first. He'll stop. That was interesting because Rick Emerson looked behind home plate and sort of insinuated that Susi wasn't going to grab the baseball. And Kasser doesn't take second. He's still at first on the walk.
Well, because luckily for Susi, there's a fan here behind us who was trying to will Kasser to turn around and head for second. But Susi picked up on that and realized that that's now a ball that's in play.
You don't see that too often.
Kasser could have had second, but he was jogging down to first most of the way. I don't think he realized that it got behind Susi.
Jake Anchia at the plate, showing bunt and hits it foul right back to the netting. You like the move, a sacrifice bunt?
No. Usually I'm a huge fan, but Jake Anchia has been clutch in these playoffs. And he's not a good bunter. We've seen that. We watch these guys take batting practice every day. They take a couple swings and then bunt.
0-1, and he whiffs on a pitch in the dirt. Now he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Tough place to be in if you're Jake Anchia right now. Runner on first, no outs. Wareham trailing by a run, 3-2. Here in the top of the 8th. A check over on Kasser at first, nothing doing.
If Kasser was on second, I'd like the bunt move. But with Susie behind the plate, man, every throw is going to be close.
Marmon's 0-2 is popped up, foul behind home plate. It will reach the stands for a lucky fan. You have a playoff baseball.
I think there's a scramble of
yes,
kids.
There is. There's a scrum.
Willie McIver's loving it. He's in the on-deck circle watching these kids go at each other.
Like a pig pile in football.
This is 5 years, 10 years earlier. I'm the kid emerging from that pile with the ball, no question.
Runner on first, no outs. 0-2 pitch to Anchia. He swings and misses. He strikes out for the 3rd time today. One gone.
But a guy who's been pretty successful today, Willie McIver, getting himself on base. A West Division All-Star. We've been having that conversation.
McIver grounded out in the 3rd, walked in the 5th, singled in the 6th. Kasser is the runner at first with 1 out. Wareham trailing 3-2. McIver swings on the first pitch. Triolo at 3rd. Throws to second for 1 to first. And just like that, Bourne is out of the inning. 5-4-3 double play turn for the Bravos. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left aboard to the bottom of the 8th. Bourne 3, Wareham 2 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 in favor of the Bravos here at Dorn Park. Jacob Toby, Connor Federico bringing you all the action. It's 2-3-4 for the Bravos, but they face Dalton Roach, who's been red hot, 9 up, 9 down.
He might be red hot because of how cold it is. That's what he's used to growing up in Minnesota. And you point to the moon out there. I was just about to mention it. It's beautiful, hiding behind clouds and has now emerged.
Lyle Lynn at the plate. Takes strike 1. Man, the moon.
Yeah, can't see a star in the sky tonight. Don't know if it's because of cloud cover or because of the bright lights we've got going here at Dorn Park.
0-1 from Roach. Quickly in for strike 2. Lyle Lynn down in the count.
Man, this is playoff baseball at its finest. A lot of fun tonight.
0-2 pitch. Up and away. We'll see if anything crazy happens. I believe it's a full moon out there. It makes people kind of crazy.
Yeah, watch Grant Wolfram in the bullpen. Make sure he doesn't turn into a werewolf out there.
Oh.
Oh.
1-2 from Roach. He strikes out Lynn. 6 strikeouts for Dalton Roach. All of them brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. They must be loving it tonight.
See ya. Nearly every batter to face Dalton Roach. I mean, it's just domination right now. Three great pitches, painting the corners. His command is on, and he's been a really bright spot.
He's keeping Wareham in this game.
No question.
Swinging on the first pitch is Palacios. He sends it foul past the snack shack, which may be closing soon if you're wondering. Need to go get a snack real quick. A 1 from Roach. Swung and hit foul again. About 100 yards to the left of home plate. Upper Cape Regional Technical High School.
Go Rams.
Home of the Rams. 0-2 pitch. To the shortstop. Taveras throws to first. Retires Palacios for out number 2.
Hitter, number 39 from University of Nebraska, Scott Schreiber.
Just great work by Roach, continuing, getting a weak ground ball to the other side by Palacios. Scott Schreiber, he doesn't hit balls weak ever. He's either going to strike out or really get the barrel on the ball. So this is a matchup that might favor Roach.
Schreiber has struck out twice today, but also singled and scored. And he whiffs at the curveball from Roach, 0-1.
Roach personifies pitching backwards sometimes. I mean, he does it really well. And Schreiber expecting fastball, and he just pulls a string on him with the curve.
0-1. Swing and a miss, same pitch, same result, no balls and 2 strikes.
This is a lot of fun. Dalton Roach putting on a pitching performance we haven't seen since the likes of Miller Hogan and Griffin Roberts and Joey Matulovic were here.
Oh, 0-2 pitch from Roach. He put him away. 7 strikeouts for Dalton Roach. And for the 4th consecutive inning, the Braves go 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. We head to the 9th. Can Wareham tie it up? It's Bourne 3, Wareham 2 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. Sam Corman here with a quick Cape League score update. The other game going on, the East Division final out at Eldridge Park. It is the bottom half of the 7th inning, and an RBI single for Nico Decalotti makes it a 4-1 lead for the Firebirds. They still are threatening with a runner in scoring position and 2 out. Gatemen have some work to do here in the 9th. Back to you, Jacob.
Thank you very much, Sam Corman. Randy Taveras will not come to the plate. The number 9 hitter being subbed out for Blake Sable out of USC. The youngin will take the plate. It is Sable, Quan, and Metz. Wareham's last chance as they trail this ball game 3-2, top of the ninth.
Not a bad group to send up there with the game, and this such an advantage in this series on the line, especially when we said that in the past 6 playoff series between these two, it's always been a sweep. We've never seen a game 3 despite the great action.
Blake Sable batting from the left side against the righty Marmon, and Marmon throws ball 1. Sable this season, 177, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs, 6'4", 205 pounds. Will be a sophomore next season. He takes ball 2 inside.
Yeah, you better be careful with that inside and high part of the strike zone with Blake Sable. He could easily hit one out of here if he gets a hold of it down the right field line.
2-0, in for strike 1. 2 balls and 1 strike with no outs. Braves up 3-2. Marmon's 2-1. Sable on the ground. Nice sliding play made by Grant Williams. Throws to first, 1 gone.
Yeah, Sable almost muscled it out into the outfield for a base hit, but plenty of range over there by the second baseman, Williams. And once he had that ball in his glove, he had plenty of time to stand up and make a good throw on a first.
1 gone in the ninth. Stephen Kwan, the center fielder, is 0 for 3 with a walk. And he takes strike 1 from Marmon.
Hard to tell. The inside corner is not the good angle we get here, but it seems like Rick Emerson's guessing.
0-1 is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Temperature has severely dropped here at Dorn Park.
Chilly.
Burr. One. Foul tipped. Yes. Kwan down 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Tough. Marmon gets ahead in the count against the first 2 batters he faces in this ninth. Kwan has to put a good defensive swing on a baseball, find your way on.
1-2. It's outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gatemen have left 9 runners on base tonight. Kwan lines it to right field. Base hit. 1 out single. There's life.
That's what Blake Sable was trying to do to start this inning and just didn't end up putting the barrel on the ball. This time Kwan does and gets that 1 out into the outfield. Tyne runs on first. I wonder if you put Kwan in motion with Duran on deck. This is quite the situation.
Jordan Tabachman, the pitching coach, coming out to talk to Marmon. What do you do if you're Robbie Metz? There's 1 out with a pretty speedy guy on first, Stephen Kwan. Do you sacrifice the bunt? Do you put a hit and run on?
Ooh, didn't even think about that. I mean, but that is where the Gatemen had success against the Falmouth Commodores. At this point in the ball game, with so much on the line, it might be a little too risky if Metz hits a hard line drive to somebody. It's an easy double play if Kwan's given it his all. Man, I think in this situation, you really just got to treat it like a normal at-bat. And, you know, Robbie Metz, he's not the kind of guy who's going to have an 0 for 5 night. It's he's due right here, and he knows this situation.
Metz swings at the first pitch and chips it foul. 0-1. Jaron Duran is on deck with 1 out in the top of the ninth. Bourne up by 1, 3-2. The 0-1. Metz fouls it off in the box. He's down, no balls and 2 strikes.
So is Stephen Kwan. He battled his way back. With Robbie Metz, no at-bat is over till it's over.
Reached on an error, stole a base and scored in the 7th. Wareham still hoping he can get on base here. No balls and 2 strikes with 1 out, a runner on first. The Gatemen trail by 1. 0-2. And he strikes out looking for the 2nd time tonight. And Wareham down to their final out.
From Long Beach State, Jaron Duran.
Well, you have the lefty up in Jaron Duran, and this is a matchup that favors the Gatemen. But with Stephen Kwan over at first, just a regular old base hit doesn't do the job. I mean, you do have Joe Durpich on deck, another lefty. The only arm I can see throwing in Bourne's bullpen is also a right-hander.
Duran struck out swinging in the 7th. He'll face the righty Merman. That's outside, 1-0.
What a game this has been, and now it's all coming down to these last couple of moments.
Duran batting from the left side. 1-0. He takes strike 1.
Largely, the Bourne crowd at Dorn Park tonight has stayed.
Metz the runner at first. Rather, Kwan the runner at first. Third pitch of the at-bat, taken for a ball outside. 2-1.
I don't think Kwan's even thinking about going. You can't challenge Zach Susi with the game on the line. You need the production to come at the plate.
Duran waiting for the pitch from Marmon. Here comes the 2-1 is low. Did he go? No, says Stephen Williams at third. Great hitter's count here for Duran.
And he's succeeded in these sorts of situations before. You know, the leadoff guy took Long Beach State to the Super Regionals. This kind of pressure's nothing to him.
Marmon from the stretch. Here's the 3-1. It's in for strike 2. Wareham down to its final strike here in Game 1 of the Western Division Finals. 2 outs. Kwan is the runner at first. Jaron Duran is at the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Marmon on the hill. His pitch. Duran fouls it off. He fights to stay alive.
Didn't expect anything less from Duran. Got a good pitch and keeps the at-bat alive, waiting for a mistake. You can tell Joe Durpich in the on-deck circle wants this at-bat so badly.
Bourne trying to win Game 1. Go up 1-0 in the best-of-3 series. Runner on first, 2 outs. Wareham trails by a run. The 3-2 pitch. Duran down, and it bounces off. Triolo, the third baseman, into foul territory. Going to third is Kwan, and he's safe. And there's life once more. And look who's coming up to the plate. Joe Durpich.
A hard hit ball down the third base line. That's all you can say about it. Bourne fans shocked. Gatemen fans excited. No coaches on for a meeting at the mound. It's all players right now. Building each other up, the Bourne Braves. And now, oh, here comes Shapiro.
Shapiro will come out. Takes his slow walk. They're going to count that as a hit, by the way.
As they should. I mean, it was really hard to hit. Triolo, when you get your body down like that with the glove, you're either gonna You're either going to field it on a one-hop or it's going to bounce off. Quan, risky decision moving to third.
Shapiro will bring on a new pitcher to face Joe Durpich. And we'll take a short break with Wareham trailing Bourne 3-2, top of the ninth. Stay tuned here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
You know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All the blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Jared Skolnicki is your new pitcher. Had not made a regular season appearance for the Bourne Braves, but he did close out the series versus the Kettleers in round 1.
Game 1.
Game 1.
So in that 11th inning restart, he got the job done.
He will face Joe Durpich. And Durpich takes strike 1. Skolnicki a lefty, Durpich a lefty. Quan, the tying run is at third. The go-ahead run, Jaron Duran's at first. 0-1. And popping it up is Durpich in the infield. Making the catch is Jared Triolo, and the Bourne Braves win game 1. 3-2, your final score from Dorn Park.
We look forward to seeing a lot of Braves fans in
Tough night for the offense. Could not get the job done. They had 8 hits, 3 more than Bourne, but Bourne had 1 more run, and that's what matters in this ball game. But Dalton Roach kept the Wareham Gatemen in this ball game. 4 perfect innings of work with 7 strikeouts.
He was incredible. I mean, definitely the player of the game tonight. Joe Durpich, he made that final out, but he did have an RBI single in the 7th. It was a good team effort tonight, just coming up short. I mean, Stadler gave up those 3 runs in the 4th. An error, led off the inning. And then Jared Triolo, he was for sure Bourne's player of the game, knocking in those 2 runs. And the nerves of steel from Skolnicki to defeat Joe Durpich in a one-on-one battle.
Tough night for the Wareham Gatemen. They lose this one by a final score of 3-2. Wareham 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Bourne 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball. On the Gatemen Baseball Network, the general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The president is Tom Gay. The producers of today's broadcast, Nick Veronesi, Matt Weasel Thayer. Our sideline reporter is Claudia Chikamian. Thanks to our beat writer, Maddie Feld, and today's host, Sam Corman. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen are home to host the Bourne Braves for Game 2 of the Western Division Finals. The game starts at 6:30 with the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health shortly before the game. Your final score, Bourne 3, Wareham 2. For Connor Federico, I'm Jacob Toby. Thanks for tuning into this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.